Year deal. For the last 6 years, he's been the coach at Buffalo. He takes over for Les Miles, who was fired.
Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do. Fortunately, Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. It's a good thing, too, because having a home is hard work. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. Geico.com. Easy.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios.
That's right.
Boy, yeah, they call him the Riot. Born and raised in the swamps, on the fight like a tiger. He going beast mode, baby, he a beast though. What you think he supposed to do? You pitch a better reload. Get the point.
After further review, the Riot Radio Hour with Matt Moscona and Ryan Theriot.
Here comes Theriot. The throw, not in time. Scudero delivers, and the Giants lead 4-3 in the 10th.
104.5, 104.9 ESPN Baton Rouge, 100.3 ESPN New Orleans.
This is legit, dude. Check me out. I got camo paint on my face.
Ryan Theriot hitless in 4 at-bats.
When it's 20 degrees, Matt, and you're sitting in a deer stand, it's freezing cold. Okay, you need a beanie on your head.
Our weekly visit with Ryan Theriot is brought to you by Bowie Outfitters. Bowie Outfitters, your home for everything outdoors.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Muso. What's up, Muso? And Theriot.
Let's go.
We're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Yo, bruh.
What up?
Your boy is riding the struggle bus today.
Gotta push through it.
Not going to lie to you.
Tell you
Riding the
something
struggle bus today for a lot of different reasons. A variety of reasons.
Can I explain something to you there, Matthew?
Among them, hold on.
Matthew.
Among them,
Mateus.
of course, had a great time at Pluckers last night for the NFL Draft Watch Party. Magnificent time. Tons of people came out. Packed house. I was speaking loudly into a microphone all night, announcing the draft specials, etc., so my voice is struggling a little bit. And then there was also, having a few beers and then also being up past midnight, almost to 1 a.m., and then waking up around 6.
Yeah, you sound like crap.
Yeah.
And you look bad right now.
And then on top of it, the Saints drafted some guy I don't even know. I literally had never heard that guy's name. Every time I have to talk about him, I have to get Mike Detilier's draft book just so I can remember the guy's name. And by the way, on Mike's list of the top players for the draft, I have to, and by the way, this is like in 10-point font. Maybe it's 8-point font. I have to go to the second page to find this guy because Payton Turner, Mike had graded as the 86th best prospect in this draft.
You didn't know who Payton Turner was?
Shut up. I hate you so much.
Dude, he was all district at Bel Air High School in Houston, Texas. You didn't know that? He's over at the University of Sigma Nu at the University of Houston. They just drafted him straight out of the fraternity house. Who the heck is this guy? And what are we doing? Not we. Let me take that back.
I know I hate you so much.
Not we.
I know you hate the Saints.
I don't hate the Saints. I just don't like them. What are they doing? That's unbelievable. How do you do that? What pick did they draft? The
28th.
And they took some guy that nobody even knows who he is.
This is how it sounded last night whenever the Saints were on the clock. After much hullabaloo and possibility of the Saints moving up into the top 10 even, there was talk about Aaron Rodgers, and instead this is what we got.
With the 28th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Payton Turner, defensive end, Houston.
Nobody even said anything. Can you do it again? Do people ever cheer when drafts are made?
Yeah.
Can you do it again, Matt?
With the 28th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Payton Turner, defensive end, Houston.
Did you hear everybody looking at their phone going, did you hear him going, who? That guy? He played at Houston. They stink.
Just because he played at Houston doesn't mean he's not a good player.
Of course it does. And nobody knows what his name is and you played at Houston? Okay. If you played at Houston and you're a good player, everybody should know who you are because there's no other good players at Houston. The team stinks. Who's drafting? Who's doing this crap for New Orleans? We just throwing darts? Is that what we're doing? Is that what they're doing?
To your point, when Ed Oliver was at Houston, everybody knew who Ed Oliver was because he was a 5-star, and it was a very big surprise that he went to Houston, and then he went to the Bills. So I'm as perplexed as most everybody else. I do think part of the symptom of mock drafts is that we see names and then we kind of marry ourselves to those names and the idea of where they should be drafted. Does that make sense? Like, you read all these mock drafts from Mel Kiper and Todd McShay and Yahoo and where, Draft Network and all these places, and you think, okay, well, you get used to seeing that guy's name in this spot, right? And nobody saw Payton Turner's name. Now, Adam Schefter
You know why? Because his name wasn't anywhere, like on anybody's list. That's
Adam
why nobody saw his
Schefter
name.
did tweet earlier in the day yesterday, because obviously word had gotten out that this was a possibility. Adam Schefter did tweet earlier in the day that Payton Turner was getting some attention and possibly could have had that happen, where he was going to be a first-round draft pick. So that word had started to leak out yesterday. I don't think anybody really here anyway thought that this was something that was going to happen. But I will say, like, I can play the positive spin game here. You lost 3 defensive linemen. You lost Trey Hendrickson. You lost Malcolm Brown. You lost Sheldon Rankins in free agency. So you needed defensive linemen. This is a big kid, really athletic, and certain packages can probably kick inside and play tackle for you as well. So you needed linemen, and they got one. So, I mean, I could play that.
You know who else is big, Matt? Matthew. Andre the Giant. You don't see people drafting him to go play in the NFL.
Well, he's also dead.
Well, when he was alive. That's dumb. Oh, we took him in the first round because he's big.
I didn't take him in the
kids.
first round because he's big. He's an athletic. He's a large athletic human. I mean, he's pretty explosive. So anyway,
he's not. How do you don't know if he's explosive or not? You've never heard of this guy. Who is this guy?
I watched his highlights.
Against who? Who are they playing?
Does it matter?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Horrible, man. Those guys.
Mike Detillier. Turner is a 3-year starter for the Cougars, has moved around some up front. He has a long, lean build. He's a high-cut defender, good track down skills and instincts to find the football quickly. For a big man, gives great effort. Watching film, that element doesn't change throughout the game. It's good stuff.
You know what I just heard? He's big and he gives effort. That doesn't constitute a first-round pick. I'm sorry.
Payton is a really good athlete. He has been productive, but was never a dominant player in college. Needs to upgrade his overall techniques to reach his full potential in the NFL. And a D-line coach must show a little patience with his skill set development.
So let's take him in the first round. Sit him on the bench and develop him. Nice job, Saints. Stay hot.
Well, You also have Marcus Davenport and Cam Jordan. That should be your starters, and this is a guy that can come be a rotational player for you immediately, hopefully. I'm trying to see the positives here.
So let me get this straight. So,
try to be the positives here.
So the best quarterback in the history of the world is gone, okay?
It took you in the third round and let you sit around the minor leagues for 5 years.
We're not talking about me. We're talking about
But
Turner.
that's the point. Sometimes you take guys and you let them get better.
Turner Payton. Talking about Turner Payton.
All right, Payton Turner. You got it backwards.
Payton Turner.
It says it right here, Payton Turner.
We're not talking about me.
You know what else sucks? It's another Payton, and I know fans are going to screw up the spelling like they do with Peyton Manning and Sean Payton. No one can ever figure out P-A or P-E. This one's P-A, by the way.
I hope the kid does great. And good for him.
Whatever, I hate you. Now, the Saints do have 3 picks today.
This ought to be good.
I'm trying to spin this positive.
Who do they got at San Diego State we can go get? Somebody that's big. Hey, he's big and he plays hard. Take him. Kidding me? What is going on?
I'm going to punch you. I'm going to punch you in the face is what I'm going to do.
Do you have any paper bags?
I'm going
and
to punch you
scissors?
smack dab in the nose.
Paper bags ready. Who that's?
I'm going to sucker punch you.
Let's go Bengals.
A lot.
Got 3 picks today. This ought to be good. I'm going to watch it today. This ought to be good.
But, look, I'll put it to you this way. You get 3 picks today. What if the Saints end up using these picks and they get a linebacker and a cornerback? I mean, look at some of the names of guys that are still on the board. Azeez Ojulari, JOK from Notre Dame is still on the board.
The linebacker?
Yeah. Christian Barmore, Tyson Campbell, Nick Bolton, Kelvin Joseph, Alim McNeil, Jabril Cox, Asante Samuel, Marvin Wilson, Chaz Surratt, Ronnie Perkins, Tyler Shelvin, Dylan Moses is still on the board, Monty Rice. I mean, there's some really good players. I mean, you can see why the meat of this draft is kind of in the middle of it. I mean, there's some really good players that you're going to be able to get value. I mean, if the Saints go draft Dylan Moses and Asante Samuel Jr. today, I'm feeling pretty good about that. You got a cornerback, a linebacker, and a defensive lineman. All that could be day one contributors for you.
You could have taken a day one contributor with the 28th pick, and that guy would have still been there in the 5th round. And then you could have got Dylan Moses and whoever else you wanted to get in the 2nd round or 3rd round, whatever it is. Nobody was drafting that kid. I mean, good for the kid. Look, I'm fired up for the kid. This is on the Saints.
I know. All right. We do have to talk about Ja'Marr Chase. And Joe.
I'm saying paper. When they say paper or plastic, when I check out at the grocery store, I'm getting paper from here on out. Cutting the eyeballs out. Cutting the eyeballs out and the little mouth out. Start selling those outside of the dome. It's my new side hustle. Keep drafting like that. Blech.
It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Pluckers. Oh, Pluckers. Hey, Muse, how you feeling after last night, Muse?
Feel good, man. The shake back was real this morning. We're doing well.
Dudes are buying Musso fireball shots at Pluckers.
Thanks, by the way. Appreciate that.
Nicholson and Bluebonnet, dine in or carry out. You got some LSU baseball tonight. You need a place to watch. You can always go watch the game at Pluckers. Tonight's on the SEC Network, but the other 2 games are streaming. So if you don't have it, SEC Network Plus at your house, of course, you can get by Pluckers and watch. Hey, look, capacity at the box. You're planning on getting out there, but you need a bite to eat before or after the game. Pluckers is a great spot right across Nicholson from Alec Box Stadium. 24 flavors of award-winning jumbo chicken wings. I changed it up a little bit. I went Gold Rush and garlic parm last night.
Ooh.
I punted on the spicy ranch.
Not a good move.
Still so good. Nicholson, Bluebonnet, dine in, carry out. Pluckers, you don't like our wings. We'll give you the bird.
At Cornell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA, $2,000 can get you into a new RAV4 for $329 per month. That's $329 per month. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Cornell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Have you been issued a ticket for texting, speeding, or other traffic violations? Have you made a mistake? We all have. You're not a bad person. Call the law offices of O.C. Brown at 225-343-1111 or connect with us online at ocbrown.com.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
A certified pre-owned vehicle means that it's been certified by factory-trained technicians. It meets a stringent criteria of over 155-point inspection. We want to make sure that vehicle is mechanically sound and that we have a warranty to back it up. There's no mileage limitation. You can be assured that you're driving a vehicle, you got a good value, you'll get that special financing, those special incentives on certain models, and some of the other amenities that you get with the certified pre-owned vehicle.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. The Riot Radio Hour with Ryan Theriot and Matt Moscona, presented by Bowie Outfitters.
I've never been so happy that Matt Flynn comes into studio and peddles his My High products all the time than I am today. Because he left some My High packets over there, and I needed one in the worst way.
Did you drink it?
I just went in the break and filled up my water bottle, dumped a My High packet in there. I'm like, woo, let's go. I'm ready for this thing to kick, dog. Oh.
Maybe about 30 minutes, it'll kick in. You're good, bro. You'll be good. You'll be good.
So it was a good night for Ja'Marr Chase last night. Bengals picking 5th overall. We kind of had a feeling it was going to happen, but this is how it sounded.
With the 5th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Cincinnati Bengals select Ja'Marr Chase, wide receiver, LSU.
So how do you feel? Burrow and Chase reunited.
It's weird, man. It seems like so Tua got
Tua gets Jalen Waddle. Yep.
And then
Burrow gets Ja'Marr Chase. Devontae Smith is with Jalen Hurts in Philly. I know where you were going. Gotcha.
I think it's really cool. Playing professionally with a teammate of mine in college was a really special thing for me. It was to have that familiarity, to be able to have somebody to talk to that you're familiar with is big. It's important. It's something new. I think it's cool. I'm happy for Joe and Ja'Marr. However, you know, I think we saw last year that they need people to block for Joe.
Yeah.
And so, you know, is it the best thing for the Bengals? I think time will tell. I know they picked up a guy in free agency, supposed to be pretty good, but
Riley Reef.
Well, I think it's more than one guy that's going to be able to gonna have to fix it, right?
Ja'Marr Chase, by the way, did announce that he's going to wear number 1, so he'll just keep. The NFL's allowing single-digit uniforms now for the skill guys. So Ja'Marr Chase, there's a picture of him at the stadium there in Cincinnati, holding up the 1 jersey. So Ja'Marr Chase going to keep that number 1.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I'm fired up for
him. So apparently they knew this was going to happen. Joe Burrow apparently earlier in the day texted Ja'Marr Chase to say, get your bags packed. It's happening. So he knew it was happening, and apparently this was inevitable at that time. Ja'Marr Chase is ready. Look, he was on a Zoom call with reporters, and he's making some fairly bold predictions about what he's planning to have happen there in Cincinnati.
I'm going to break every record they got at the Bengals. That's my goal right there. I'm telling you right now. I'm going to break every record they have. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but it's going to get done.
One thing I know about Ja'Marr Chase, and Ryan Clark has said this before he's been on the show, he's like, he's just mean. Like, as a competitor, he's just mean. And he's never going to shy away from that. I mean, look, Chad Johnson is the Bengals' all-time leading receiver, Ocho Cinco. 10,783 career yards. Caught 751 balls. You going to tell me Ja'Marr Chase can have 10,000-yard seasons in Cincinnati? I'd be like, oh, that's about right.
Yeah. So Jarvis was my favorite player, and he probably still is.
Yeah.
Because he just the traction connection and all that stuff. But I look at Ja'Marr Chase, and I mean, the X factor for Jarvis was after like that first point of contact, and you say mean, but there was just like a determination. You see the same thing with this guy, except for he's bigger and he's faster, like a lot faster, So yeah, man, could he do that for sure? I like the confidence, but
I was bummed for Terrace Marshall. I thought, especially everyone had kind of mocked Terrace Marshall to Baltimore at 27. And late as the day went on yesterday and you saw final mock drafts come out, you saw that not be the case. The Ravens did ultimately take a receiver. They took Rashad Bateman. So Terrace had to wait. My guess is Terrace Marshall will hear his name called in the first 5 picks of the second round. The other wide receiver on the board that someone may grab early would be Elijah Moore out of Ole Miss. It's really just a preference. Are you going for the smaller, faster guy, or are you going for the big physical guy who can also fly, by the way? But just stylistic.
Is he faster?
Yeah, Elijah Moore, yeah. But it's like stylistically, what do you want? So, but I do think that the 33rd pick in the draft is always, for me anyway, and I think many people would agree, it's always the most interesting because you're on the clock from the time the 32nd pick happens until the next day. So you have time to sit, to breathe, to adjust your board. It's not 10 minutes or 7 minutes for the next pick. You have 22 hours or 20 hours, whatever it ends up being, until you're back on the clock. And so you can field calls from other teams. You could trade the pick. You could decide what you want to do to reset your board. So I'm interested, and it would not surprise me at all if Jacksonville, with the 33rd pick, who got Trevor Lawrence yesterday, and obviously got Travis Etienne as well. They got their quarterback, they got their running back. The running back obviously replaces Fournette, who they traded last year. It wouldn't surprise me at all if they get him a weapon. I mean, their big weapon right now is DJ Chark in Jacksonville, and DJ's going into the final year of his rookie deal. It wouldn't surprise me at all if they decided to take a receiver in round 2 here with the 33rd pick, and it very well could be Terrace Marshall.
Other than DJ Chark, what do they have at wide receiver?
I'd have to check.
Not a lot, right?
No.
I don't think there's a whole lot there.
There's not a whole lot in Jacksonville, period.
Yeah. And
they kind of fire-sailed everything last year, to tank and ultimately get Trevor Lawrence, which they did. So, Look, let's see what happens with Terrace. I think we also have a really good chance to hear Jabril Cox's name called today. We'll see about Tyler Shelvin. I think he's the boom or bust guy in this draft from LSU's perspective. When you can balloon up to 380 when you're not in a weight program and you don't have people holding you accountable every day, I think that's a very real concern for NFL teams. When this guy gets his money and you have to take on more personal accountability and responsibility. Will he do those things?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why it's hard to justify a high pick for Tyler Shelvin. But if he's right, he can be a dominant interior player.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if the Saints stand pat with their 2 third-round picks and they're picking at 105 and Tyler Shelvin's still on the board, I'd love it if they take Tyler Shelvin at 105. I don't know that it'll be there, but I would be happy to see him in New Orleans.
Yeah, no, that makes too much sense. They're going to go get somebody from somewhere that nobody's ever heard of, and that won't happen. But it'd be nice if it did.
Like Tarleton State.
Yeah, some basketball player that they're going to try to convert into something like that's an opportunity that could happen. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how he develops.
Like Jimmy Graham, that worked out okay.
Yeah, that worked out good.
Yeah.
All right, I'll give you that one.
Okay. Thought so.
Why are you mad? Don't be mad at me.
I'm mad at you because you keep like nut punching me intentionally. That's like what you're doing. You're like, that I want this to go really well for the Saints, and everyone's a little confused and perplexed by what happened yesterday, and you're just intentionally like jabbing me.
First off, let me just say this: I'd never punch a man in the nuts. That's wrong.
I was speaking
punch, maybe.
I was speaking metaphorically.
Yeah. And no, it's not. This isn't directed at you. This is directed at the Saints. It's always been directed at the Saints. This goes back since I first started coming on this show there, Matthew.
I will say that at some point, people keep giving this franchise the benefit of the doubt for their draft history.
Here we go. Let's go. Get him.
What?
Get him. Go in on him. Come on.
I'm not going in, but I am saying, so 2017 is arguably the greatest draft in the history of the franchise. The only other one that compares would be 1981, when they drafted George Rogers and Ricky Jackson and Hobie Brenner. It was a much bigger draft, but Hokie Gaijan was in that draft as well, Jim Wilkes. But 1981 and 2017 are unanimously considered the 2 greatest drafts in Saints history. And so I think we just sort of defer and go, oh, well, look, they drafted Lattimore and Ramchick and Williams and Kamara and Anzalone and Hendrickson and Al-Qadim Muhammad. They just hit. Well, 2018 was terrible. I mean, you drafted Marcus Davenport, who so far has not lived up to the expectation, and you gave up your first-round pick in 2019 for him. Traquan Smith in round 3, who has not lived up to any expectation. And you got nothing else out of the draft. I mean, it was Rick Leonard, Natrell Jamerson, Cameron Moore, none of whom are around. You drafted Boston Scott, who made the team, and then you cut him, and he's in Philly now.
Starter.
And then, you drafted Will Clapp in the 7th round, who's still hanging around. And so then you come back in 2019, you don't have a first-round pick. You do draft Eric McCoy, who's been a starter, and you get C.J. Gardner-Johnson in round 4. But the rest of that draft was Saquon Hampton, Alizé Mack, and Caden Ellis. Now, Ellis was a 7th rounder, still hanging around. And then this past year, you traded up. The whole draft took 4 players. Cesar Ruiz, he couldn't nail down a starter job last year. Zach Bond, the reason you're still in the mix for a linebacker is Bond couldn't get on the field last year. Troutman, I think, is going to be a really good player for the Saints. And then you traded back into the draft to get Tommy Stevens, and then you cut him. So, there isn't a whole lot. I mean, you have your occasional Eric McCoy, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, out there. But for the most part, since 2017, it hasn't been a great look. So I don't know that we keep giving them the benefit of the doubt over and over and over. You got to start to see these guys produce.
Pick somebody good that we've heard of before. All those guys you just said, I don't have heard of any of them.
Well, it's because you don't watch the team. You just like to come in here on Fridays.
No. I'm talking about like I watch college football though, and I know big names in college football.
Well, Cesar Ruiz played at Michigan. Okay, Zach Bond played at Wisconsin.
I did know Stephen.
Tommy
Ruiz.
Stevens played at Penn State and at Mississippi State.
It stinks.
Eric McCoy played at Texas A&M. He's in the SEC.
But they're not like guys.
Yeah, he was. C.J. Gardner-Johnson was a dude at Florida.
Draft Tim Tebow or somebody like that. Give me a name.
Get out of here.
Can we do a name, please? I want somebody that I've heard of before. I haven't heard of any of those guys. You even said a guy with 3 names. I haven't heard of any one of his 3 names.
If you don't know Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, you don't need to be having this conversation at all.
Well, I know who he is now.
Yeah, right.
But
if you didn't know him at Florida, then you don't watch football. You say you love the SEC, you love college football. How could you watch college football and not know who Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is?
Who was the best player on that team in Florida?
Chauncey Gardner-Johnson
wasn't.
defensively.
Okay, offensively.
I don't know.
Yeah, you do. Come on, you know college football. You do. I want that guy. That's what I want. The guy like, oh yeah, this is what I want to happen. I want when they announce a pick, everybody to yell and scream. Not everybody to start Googling the guy. That's what happens now.
Well, they were in Cleveland. Nobody there.
I want everybody on the West Bank. Everybody on the West Bank to get fired up. This is what happens now. Everybody on the West Bank goes on their computer and like, who's that guy? All right, well maybe we'll see. That's what happens today with the now. The last was since 17. You said a bunch of guys I don't even know who they are.
You probably didn't know any of those guys in 2017 either.
I know who Ricky Jackson is. Dang it.
Well, that was 1981.
Well, there we go.
And the Saints won nothing with Ricky Jackson.
I know who he is.
Never even won a playoff game.
I know who he is.
I'd rather win.
I know Ricky Jackson.
Championships.
You know who else I know? I know who Ricky Williams is. Now that was awesome. That was awesome.
How did that work out?
That's what I want.
Well, then you are.
I want Ricky Williams.
You are stupid.
Can we get Ricky Williams?
Yeah, let's trade the whole draft for a running back.
Love it. Dress up with the dreads, whole deal. That was great. That was great. TV, whole thing. I was fine. I was in. I was bought in. I watched games. Not watching Cesar Ruiz and John Hollis Parker, whoever the guy's name, the three-name guy.
Chauncey Gardner-Johnson.
Well, same thing.
You didn't hit any of the three.
It's three names.
You didn't hit any of them.
If you have three names, you can just say any three names and you answer to that.
You know what his nickname is?
What?
CD Deuce. CD Deuce. You get it?
I get it.
Okay.
It's so immature, man.
All right, it's after further review. We'll go around the SEC.
AFR.
Brought to you by Darren James and Associates, powered by eXp Realty. The weekend is upon us. You're going to be doing some house hunting, or you're thinking about listing your home. You know what to do. Call Darren James and get your home sold. Darren James can help you maximize the ROI on your house. You may be able to go to a website like Zillow or something and say, oh, this is what my house is worth. But what about the uniqueness of your property that a website like that can't account for? Let Darren James come in, do that assessment, actually know what the value of your property is to maximize the return on your investment. It is an awesome time if you are a seller. If you've ever even thought about selling, you can maximize that return. Call Darren James, and maybe he could even sell it without ever listing it because he has a network of buyers ready to buy. 335-7666 or agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
$12,500 off MSRP. Bayou Ford wants to put you in a brand new 2020 Ford Expedition today with $12,500 off MSRP. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty, and with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
To the heroes who are working tirelessly to care for our communities, we thank you. We will never forget the countless hours you dedicated on the front lines, choosing to risk your own health to fight for our friends, neighbors, and family members.
I mean, you guys are out on the front lines fighting it.
We are grateful for your heroic acts and unwavering spirit. Together, we are overcoming this adversity and make our state healthier and more vibrant again. Ochsner Health.
What if you could truly energize your body and mind from the most fundamental level? Your cells. Cellivate is a revolutionary health-aware approach to energy, focus, and mood enhancement, packing everything you need to optimize your mind and body from the inside out. The unique formula combines top-notch cellular energizers, nootropics, herbal extracts, and powerful antioxidants, all in one sugar-free 12-ounce can. Elevate your cells. Cellivate.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
Service Master Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Can you feel it? Spring is almost here, and if you got a new boat for Christmas or you just want to take your boat to a new level, you want front-to-back boat service, HD displays, live sonar that show the fish before you cast, trolling motors. At Front to Back, they got not one, but two NMEA certified techs for all of your marine electronic needs. How does a brand new speaker system sound? Well, guess what? They do that too. So call.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, the Riot Radio Hour with Riot Radio and Matt Moscona, presented by Bowie Outfitters.
I'll go around the SEC here in just a quick second. LSU baseball tonight against number 1 Arkansas out at the box. How you feeling about this one?
I feel good, man.
Why?
Well, because you had a good weekend last weekend against a good team on the road. Now you're back home. You know, it's such a momentum thing, man. You know, the bats get hot. You can score some runs.
Momentum thing, like whenever you give up a 9-1 lead in the 8th inning.
It happens.
Momentum.
It happens. It happens.
Momentum like that.
But the truth is, they won 2 out of 3 on the road against a really good SEC team. So I'll take that. Now you're at home. You're playing the number 1 team in the country. But there's some questions from a pitching standpoint here. Arkansas generally is the tops of the SEC in pitching, really the tops nationally pitching. That's not the case this year, you know. So hey, you go out there, you swing the bats like you did before. You get 2 out of 3 here at home, man. I think we're in a good spot. So I feel good. I feel good about the boys. Go Tigers.
Just find a way to take one game. That's all I need.
Well, that's happening. You're gonna get one.
Arkansas can really hit. They lead the nation in home runs. They're unanimous number 1. Every poll. Collegiate Baseball, Baseball America, D1 Baseball, USA Today, unanimous number 1. Lead the nation with 74 homers, number 1 in the SEC in runs scored. Lead the SEC in on-base percentage. They're only 6th in batting average. But they're productive. When they get on, they get in. And they can really, really hit the baseball. They're 8th in team ERA. The interesting thing is Kevin Kopps, their closer, also leads the team in wins. He leads the team in wins and saves, which is interesting. Like, there was a game they played against Louisiana. They played a weekend series in Ruston this year against Louisiana Tech. They lost Sunday. Well, the Friday night game, Tech was winning the game. And Arkansas homered. I think they were down to their last strike. And they homered to send it to extras and then won with a home run in extras. I think they won 9-8 or 9-7, something like that. But their bats have just come through for them time and time again. But they have been vulnerable at times. They swept Mississippi State, which was the big wow on their resume, I think, early in conference play. They went to Starkville and swept them. But they lost a game against Ole Miss. And they've lost a game here and there. 13-5 in the league. They're tied with Vanderbilt for the league lead, but just get one.
I'm not saying their pitchers are bad.
Just
middle of the pack. I would much rather be pitcher heavy than hitter heavy.
I hear you.
Especially when you go into opponent's ballpark. And LSU's done well against these guys.
They have. LSU historically, we'll talk a little more about that, but LSU historically, especially under Palmineri, LSU's won 13 of the last 15 series. And the only series that Arkansas have won, the 2 that they won, were both in Fayetteville. One of them was the 2011 team, which was Maneri's worst team. So, and then Arkansas did win the last time they played in Fayetteville in 2019. So, just go get one.
Yeah.
Just get one this weekend. Get one this weekend, and you're on target. All right, we do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products, excellence in imaging solutions. The Alabama Crimson Tide.
Alabama tied Miami's 2004 record for the most first-round draft picks. Crimson Tide had 6 first-rounders taken last night. Najee Harris was the 6th when he went 24th overall to Pittsburgh. Before Thursday, the most that Bama had in round 1 was 4.
The Tennessee Volunteers.
Got a little 2-pack here for you from Knoxville.
Okay.
Number 4, Tennessee baseball exploded for 7 runs in the second inning. They erased an early deficit, won 14-4 over Kentucky. Every player in Tennessee's starting lineup had a hit. Chad Dallas, 7 strikeouts in 6 innings, improved to 7-1 on the year.
Good job, Chad.
Vols are 13-6 in the league. Kentucky, 9-10.
They stink.
Meanwhile, Tennessee defensive lineman Isaac Washington, who was suspended during spring practice, he's entered the transfer portal. He was a 3-star defensive tackle out of North Carolina.
The Georgia Bulldogs.
Got a 2-pack from Athens
All right,
as well.
let's go. Give it to me.
Ryan Webb and Ben Harris combined for a 2-hit shutout. Freshman Fernando Gonzalez smashed a grand slam, led Georgia to a 4-0 win over Auburn Thursday.
Great.
Georgia's now 10-9 in the league. Auburn's 3-16.
Oh, how you doing?
They stink. Series continues Friday night.
Okay.
And also from Athens. Georgia got a football commit.
Okay, who's that?
Denylon.
Shut your mouth.
Denylon Morissette.
His name's Nylon?
Denylon.
Denylon Morissette. Oh, my gosh.
He's a 4-star receiver out of Atlanta. 6'1", 200 pounds, number 35 receiver in the country.
Oh, man.
Denylon Morissette.
His name's Denylon.
Yeah. Do you like Denylon or DeColdis better? Who has a better name? I still think DeColdis Crawford's the best name.
DeColdis is good.
Better than Denylon.
This is my fastball changeup split.
And you missed. Good.
The Auburn Tigers.
Defensive end Jaron Handy entered the transfer portal Friday. Handy didn't. He didn't play in the spring game.
What happened?
Well, he stinks, and so he's leaving. That means 6 of the top 11 players from Auburn's 2019 class left, including 3 of the top 5. He was the 7th best strong side defensive end, 100 best overall player nationally when he signed.
Oh, wow.
Gone.
What's his name? Jaron?
The Texas A&M Aggies.
And wide receiver Cameron Buckley and safety Derek Tucker, they've entered the transfer portal.
Oh, why'd they do that?
Because they stink and they don't play.
Okay.
Buckley, 6'3", 190-pounder. He missed last year because of a knee injury.
What about the other guy?
Don't know.
Just stinks.
I was low. That's ball.
There you have it. This is Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. Shout out to our guy Trey Beal and our friends at Gulf Coast Office Products. They're online at gcopnet.com, gcopnet.com for Gulf Coast Office Products. If you're not watching, you should. If you don't have CST, find us on the 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. Theriot crumples up the papers when he's in here for Around the SEC. And I guess he was doing his best, theatrical pitching impression, throwing the paper at Musso over there.
While sitting down.
And you just kept pummeling the back of the monitor. You didn't even come close to hitting him any of those times.
I didn't even make an adjustment. I got to make an adjustment. Come on, man. Clean it up, Ryan. Let's go, Rye.
Big bad Rye guy. All right. It's after further review. We're going to knock out a quick break and come back, and we'll wrap up the hour with Ask Ryan. So if you have a question you'd like to ask Theriot, anything about anything, you know the drill. You can tweet us at Matt Moscona.
Hey, Twitter world.
Thank you, Juice. You can jump at the Bayou Ford YouTube chat on the Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. Or you can text your question in the 225 to 396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Thank you. That is the text line. Get your questions in. Ask Ryan is next.
AFR.
What a great time to call Pinnacle Exterior Construction. You know anybody who's called Pinnacle Exterior Construction, by the way?
I called them. They came.
Did you?
Yeah, can I tell the story?
Please.
They came to my house with fence issues. I wanted to get some wrought iron added to my fence, and I also need my wooden fence. The whole perimeter, I need it redone. I would like to get it redone. So they came out, measured, did the whole deal, getting some motors put. But to take it a step further, I'm doing an outdoor kitchen. So I had my plans drawn and everything. I actually sent the plans over to Jeff over at Pinnacle today. Said, hey, big boy, take a look. Let's see what we got. Let's get this thing rolling.
Anybody else you know that's called Pinnacle Exterior Construction?
Mary and Randy Theriot.
Interesting. They called Pinnacle Exterior.
Little outdoor piece, little outdoor entertainment area is what they're working on over at the Theriot household.
Little outdoor sit piece?
Just outdoor sit piece,
like
a little cook piece type deal.
Pinnacle Exterior Construction, you will see the Pinnacle green all over. You want that outdoor kitchen, they could build you a custom pool, fences, decks, bulkheads. They do it all. It's Pinnacle Exterior Construction. Online, pecbuilt.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
A certified pre-owned vehicle means that it's been certified by factory-trained technicians. It meets a stringent criteria of over 155-point inspection. We want to make sure that vehicle is mechanically sound and that we have a warranty to back it up. There's no mileage limitation. You can be assured that you're driving a vehicle, you got a good value, you'll get that special financing, those special incentives on certain models, and some of the other amenities that you get with a certified pre-owned vehicle.
50 years ago on Easter Sunday, Breck's Baton Rouge Zoo proudly opened our doors, and we've been hopping ever since. 5 decades of connecting people with animals, teaching our community about the problems facing wildlife and how we can help, and working with zoos across the world to protect endangered species. Today, our future is taking flight by stretching the possibilities of what your zoo can become, while we keep it fun and affordable for everyone. Thanks for coming along.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. The Riot Radio Hour with Ryan Theriot and Matt Moscona, presented by Bowie Outfitters.
Hey, tell the people what's going on over there at Bowie Outfitters.
Well, if you hadn't noticed, beautiful weather today, great fishing weather, no wind.
I did notice.
No wind today. It's a perfect time to go fishing. Should be a good weekend to go fishing as well. Go check them out at Bowie Outfitters for all your fishing needs. Rods, reels, lures, you name it at Bowie Outfitters. Also have the sunglasses, apparel that you can get to go take that fishing trip, whether it be saltwater, freshwater fishing. Check them out at Bowie Outfitters, BowieOutfitters.com.
All right, get your questions in for Ask Ryan. By the way, we're brought to you by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Hey, Matt, it's Peyton Lee. I was at Pluckers last night. This is an Ask Matt question. The shirts and hats y'all gave away were awesome. Gave away some Hudco hats. But wanted to know if you kept a kid's shirt for Ryan.
It's not funny. Not funny at all. Who's that guy?
Peyton Lee.
Peyton?
Yeah.
Is that a girl?
I don't know. Maybe. Robert Boudreaux just said Happy Friday, Matt. Happy Friday. Chris LaCroix asked Theriot, How's his Uncle Chuck doing?
He's good. He's grinding. He's a grinder. He's working on some new material.
I guess it's my fault for saying you can ask anything about anything.
Working on some new material. But he's doing good, man. I appreciate you asking. I'll let him know that you guys asked about it today.
Good. Please do. Kevin Kelly asked Ryan, will the Cubs make the playoffs?
No chance.
Alvino asked Ryan, please tell my nephew Jalen dinners on him tonight and to kick rocks. He had Jeff Hardy do me.
Tell my nephew Jalen dinners on me.
Yes. Dinners on him.
Jalen dinners on you tonight.
And to kick rocks.
Kick rocks.
Kick rocks.
Is it really an Ask Ryan?
That was an Ask Ryan.
George Reitmeyer said, stick to baseball, Ryan. Kick rocks.
George, you know what to do. Just turn the dial. You don't have to listen.
No, we want George to listen. We do want you to kick rocks.
Not kicking rocks.
Ask Ryan, would you get everyone at Pluckers to boo a Falcons fan like Matt did? That happened.
Why'd you do that?
Because he's a Falcons fan.
So?
I don't want him anywhere near me.
Who'd they draft in the first round?
Tight end from Florida, Kyle Pitts.
He doesn't suck.
Yeah, but that's just like the Falcons. Yeah, that's what you need. When you stink on defense, you need to go draft a tight end. Awesome. Congrats. They got another pass catcher for your aging quarterback.
That was a great pick.
And no defense. 4-12 Falcons, idiots.
Just outscore everybody. It's where the league's going. I think it's progressive. It's a good pick. At least we knew who the guy was.
Ask Ryan, do the Red Sox make the playoffs?
Yeah.
Ask Ryan and Matt, what's something you did that you thought was romantic but it wasn't? Well, that's a good question.
It is, but that's not like one of these questions.
Ask Ryan, what's the best way to kill my neighbor's chickens that keep jumping my fence onto my yard?
Do you have a dog?
What about the Theriot massacre of 2019?
Yeah, that happened. My dog killed 12 chickens. Christmas Eve. Come home from church, some murder scene in the backyard. Feathers, guts, blood all over the backyard. My kids were traumatized. And my dog's tail's wagging like, look what I did.
Needless to say, the Terrios don't have chickens anymore.
Nope.
You were so proud of building that chicken coop, too.
It took us months.
And your dog ate all of your chickens. He just thought that was dinner. Doing what the good Lord made him to do.
She didn't eat them. She took them out, killed them, and then went in and got another one.
Oh, man. Ask Theriot your thoughts on Tennessee's Tony Vitello as LSU's next head coach.
I don't even know who that is.
That's the head coach at Tennessee.
What does he coach?
Baseball.
Oh, no, I don't like that.
Okay.
No.
You don't know who he is, but you
I don't even know who he is. Why would I like it?
Ask Ryan, liquor, beer, wine, or seltzer?
Probably beer. Although I'm trying the liquor. I'm going to try to get on the liquor stuff.
You going to try to get on some whiskey?
I am.
You want me to help you?
Yeah. I mean, I've got some good stuff.
Do you? What do you have?
I don't know. It's bottles that I think were expensive that people have given me over the years.
Okay. You want me to take a look?
I'd love for you to.
Okay. Ask Ryan why the Dern doesn't Alex Box have bleachers in center field?
They have a big batter's eye out there.
Yeah, I know. But that doesn't mean you can't have bleachers. Plenty of places have bleachers.
You got to go above the batter's eye?
Below the batter's eye.
Well, then the ball is going to be in the bleachers.
What's the problem?
You can't hit if the ball's in the bleachers.
Well, it's crazy. I mean, isn't it stunning how, like, there's so many places all over the world that have bleachers in center field? How does that happen? Crazy.
I don't know that there's a lot of places that have bleachers like straight in the middle, like in center field. Honestly, I'm trying to think in my mind of places that do, and every big league park that I played for didn't have bleachers in the middle. They may have had it in right center and left center, but not like. So LSU has bleachers in right center and left center.
Sort of.
Musso knows. He's the baseball guy, don't we? Yeah.
Well, it doesn't go. They don't go. It's more like left and right. It doesn't go all the way into the alley.
Left is
Not
closer.
in the left.
Is closer than right. Right's really on the right field.
Let's get some more bleachers.
It's after further review. Oh, man. Oh, you keep that going all the way. Muse, you keep that going all the way until we hit the stab.
It's not he hadn't been here in a while.
No, I'm just teaching him. It's good. It's all good. It's good. It's good. All right, hour 2 next.
AFR.
Ronnie Bay!
Shawbills!
Shawbills Tire and Auto Service. ShawbillsTire.com. 18 locations in South Louisiana. Find the location nearest you at ShawbillsTire.com. When was the last time you went by Shawbills?
2 weeks ago, I was actually at Shawbills.
I know. I called you and you were there.
Yep.
What were you doing?
I had to get a trailer tire fixed.
Oh, what happened?
Well, the Hudco trailer.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen it around town or not. I was pulling it around town, a couple of jobs, whatever it may be. And one of the tires was kind of like a little low, and I was worried that we might have a blowout, which would not have been good on the trailer. So I brought it in, and they changed that one, and then checked the other tires, made sure we were good.
Got you up and rolling, huh?
Got me up and rolling.
That's what Shawbills does. 18 locations in South Louisiana. If it's your trailer tire, or maybe it's tire rotation, oil change, they can do anything. Bumper-to-bumper auto service and name-brand tires at wholesale prices for more than 50 years. Shawbills has been treating you like family because they're family-owned and operated. Shawbills!
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I'm feeling good. So I just thought you should know.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
$12,500 off MSRP. Bayou Ford wants to put you in a brand new 2020 Ford Expedition today with $12,500 off MSRP. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty, and with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
A certified pre-owned vehicle means that it's been certified by factory-trained technicians. It meets a stringent criteria of over 155-point inspection. We want to make sure that vehicle is mechanically sound and that we have a warranty to back it up. There's no mileage limitation. You can be assured that you're driving a vehicle, you got a good value, you'll get that special financing, those special incentives on certain models, and some of the other amenities that you get with the certified pre-owned vehicle.
For Callahan Injury Law.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. LeBron James is a game-time decision for the Lakers tonight against the Kings. He's been upgraded to questionable, hoping to come back from a high right ankle sprain. 2 more rounds of the NFL Draft coming up tonight. In round 1, the Bears traded up 9 spots to get quarterback Justin Fields. ESPN's Mike Tannenbaum says Chicago could be the best team in the NFC North.
It's amazing what 24 hours to do in the NFL. So
I think he's a good player. I think he's way better than Foles or Dalton. I think it's not going to take very long for him to surpass those guys. And I would fully expect him to be the starter real soon.
Mike Tannenbaum on Barton Hahn. Day 2 draft coverage starts at 6 Eastern on ESPN TV, radio, and the app, 7 Eastern on ABC. MLB announces 9 teams have now reached at least 85% of players and coaches vaccinated, allowing those unidentified teams to relax some of the health and safety protocols. And Myron Metcalf reports Rasheer Bolton will transfer to Gonzaga.
Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do. Fortunately, Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. It's a good thing, too, because having a home is hard work. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. Geico.com. Easy.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
You can't handle the
Riot Radio Hour.
Let's do that again.
Please, sir. I want some more.
The Riot Radio Hour is presented by Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge.
Well, let's start the insanity. Giddy up.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Hour 2 off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm at
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Yes, sir. We're here. Glad you are as well. Make it a good one. Yo again, bruh.
Hey, bruh.
You got to leave in like 30 minutes.
Yep.
All right. So we'll do Kick Rocks coming up here shortly. This is about the time of the show every week where you read a letter.
Mm-hmm.
And some days you feel good about your letter and some days you don't.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes the topic just like early on in the week I'll think about something and it'll and I won't necessarily write it early in the week. I'll write it like as the show's going on in the first hour. But at least I know what I'm gonna write about. This week,
that's a fact.
It became extremely clear to me last night what my letter had to be about.
Is it about the Saints trading for Aaron Rodgers?
While I was at the Dunham baseball game, playoff game, which they won in walk-off fashion last night.
Congratulations.
Homer, by the way.
Congratulations.
Walk-off 3-run homer. Chase Crawford, shout out.
Shout out Chase. Good job, man.
I was also watching the NFL draft via app on my phone.
On your phone, yeah.
Yeah. And it came to me.
Your letter did.
Right then and there.
Right then and there.
So I'd like to read it.
I'd love to hear it.
It's good. It's a good one. Yep. All right. So here we go. Dear NFL draftees.
Okay.
Y'all are a bunch of liars.
You're so stupid. Why would you start your letter like that?
Frauds. Every single one of you guys. Yesterday marked the most cliche-driven few days every year. This is what you guys do. You walk up the stairs to greet the commissioner.
Mm-hmm.
You're wearing a custom suit that costs $10,000.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe more. I don't know. It'd be an RC question.
Pocket square.
Yeah, sometimes. Or bow tie, whatever. Regardless, it costs $10K.
Mm-hmm.
You've got on a watch that's probably in the $50,000 range.
Mm-hmm.
more times than not, you've got on a pair of designer shoes that were not purchased at Cole Haan. Your necklace costs as much as a Camry.
That could actually be true.
And there's more carrots on your ears than what was on Matt's salad today at lunch.
I didn't have a salad, actually. We went to Ichiban and had sushi.
When you eat a salad.
Got it.
I'd guess anywhere from $30,000 to $50,000 was spent on your outfit for the draft.
It's a lot of money.
You think I'm going one direction, but I'm not. And you've got the nerve to lie to America and say you're excited for the grind.
Rise and grind?
Ready to get to work.
Oh, yeah.
You appreciate the opportunity. Can't wait to get in the facility and go and put my head down and work. I want to get in that playbook, and I'm gonna learn that thing, and boy, it's gonna be a great year. I just want to go work. I want to go play football.
I want to go reward their confidence in me.
Go play football. That's what I want to do. I love football. You love football? Yeah, I love football. I just want to go. I want to go grind and play football.
Grind season.
You guys expect me to believe that crap? I mean, honestly?
Yeah.
Really? Okay. Do you expect me to believe that your dream of playing in the NFL was realized and that's it? Like you're fired up for that? That you've worked your entire life to wear that Buffalo Bills uniform and now you're ready to grind?
Well, not maybe the Bills. I wouldn't want to wear
exactly.
I want the Bills, no.
I'm not having it, bro.
Gotta live in Buffalo.
I'm calling people out today.
Get them.
I ain't having it. I don't believe you guys one bit. One time,
Not
Matthew. One time, I would like someone to say, appreciate you, Roger.
Thank you.
I'm rich! I'm rich! I got it all! Like, really, really rich. Like, we get in the Lambo. We're buying a big house. Remember, fellas, I've been there. I didn't get the giant contracts that you guys are getting. But it was more money than a boy from Broadmoor had ever seen. And I'll be totally honest, the first thing I did was buy a car. It was a Tahoe. I put rims and tires on it. I blacked out the windows and I threw some subwoofers in the back. I started spending that money.
Yeah, you did.
Because I'd never had it. Going to spring training was the absolute last thing on my mind those first 2 weeks. I'm going to the casino. We're going to dinner. I'm going to buy a car. We're going to get some shoes. I'm rich. I had a, portion of what these dudes are getting.
How much did you get?
Like 4 something.
400K.
490 or 480 or something like that.
The 32nd pick in the draft last night. Total contract value 11.2, signing bonus 5.5.
Oh, Coach, let me tell you.
The last pick of round 1 got a $5.5 million signing bonus.
Let me just tell you something. What did I was the 73rd pick. What'd that guy? Oh, he hadn't happened yet.
Yeah, that's never yet.
Okay. Let me ask y'all something.
I could look it up.
Yeah, let's look it up. It's a short letter anyway. You can look it up. Do last year's. I lost my letter. Hold on.
All right. It was Devon Hamilton, the defensive tackle out of Ohio State. Let me see. Devon Hamilton contract. Let's see. Devon Hamilton, the 73rd pick in last year's draft, signed a 4-year, $4.8 million deal.
Coach, let me tell you something.
With a $1.065 million signing bonus. But listen, 20 years ago, that's about equitable, right? I mean, varying for inflation, adjusting for inflation.
Maybe it's close. I'd like to ask all those draftees a question, though. Would you play for free? Honestly. Would you train, diet, and work the way that you do for an average or even an average salary? You know, say $80,000.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, you guys love football. But why do you love football? You love football because you're good. You love football because you can get really rich playing football. My guess is if playing checkers paid like playing football, you guys would consider playing checkers. I know I would.
But you'd have to be good at it.
And you'd train, and you'd work, and you'd do all that stuff to get really good at checkers, to get really...
Grind season? Checkers grind season?
If it paid like that,
yeah,
100%. Just once, I'd like to see somebody walk up to the podium and be honest. You're really not that excited to go into the building and grind. You're that excited because you're about to be driving a Bentley. Sincerely, Ryan.
Would you really want a Bentley? I don't think I would want a Bentley. I'm not a car, but then again, I'm just not a car guy. Like, I don't need, like, if I had extreme wealth, I don't think I would express it in vehicles. Does that make sense?
One spring training, Derek Lee and I were running, conditioning, and I beat him a few times in the deal. And I'm obviously faster than Derek Lee.
Obviously.
Well, he goes, I am. I'll bet you my Bentley that you can't beat me in a race. So I'm like, deal. What do I have to give you? At the time, I think I had like a BMW or something, 7 Series. So I beat him. He flipped me the keys. I drove it home. He was going to give it to me. I felt bad. I gave it back to him.
No!
I felt bad.
Why would you give it back?
I'm not going to take the man's Bentley.
Why not?
No.
Well, Derek Lee's made $100 million in his career.
Yeah, I know. But my point in telling you all that is it was the smoothest riding vehicle I've ever been in my life. I would love to have one, for sure.
Derek Lee, his career earnings, I guarantee he's made $100 million in his career. You should have taken this man's Bentley.
No,
I want this load.
I can take his Bentley. But it's a good car. Real good car. That's like baller status car, though.
Net worth $45 million. How much has he made in his career? Doesn't say. I'll have to find it. Okay, it's after further review. Brought to you by Hudco Roofing. HudcoRoofing.com. I'll get my Hudco hat.
Get your hat on.
I got it right there.
Surprised you haven't any left.
Dude, we slung some Hudco hats last night.
Nice.
At the Pluckers draft party. Muso, how many Hudco hats did I have?
1 million.
Not sure, man. There you had a whole basket full, and it was gone really, really quick.
I think there was about 80, if I remember counting correctly. They were gone in less than 5 minutes. Everybody wanted a freaking Hudco hat.
It's good.
They all want to be part of the movement.
It's happening.
That's what it is. Need a roof? Hudco Roofing. HudcoRoofing.com. Process is easy. We'll come out, do a free, no-obligation roof inspection, get up there, let you know if you have damage, give you a detailed report, and if so, we'll help you file a claim with your insurance. I'll tell you this much, though. One thing we'll never do, we'll never be door knockers. Have you noticed how many roofing companies, vehicles we've seen around town?
Mm-hmm.
Alabama, Oklahoma, all these out of state, like, because the hail fell a couple weeks ago, and so they're opportunistic. They come in, they come knock on your door. They're playing a numbers game. You'll never hear from them again. We're local. Hudco's been around for more than 20 years. Started by Jeff and Sherry Hudson up in Bossier. And we're proud to be carrying it on here. HudcoRoofing.com. Love to give you a free, no-obligation roofing inspection. Go to HudcoRoofing.com, HudcoRoofing.com. Contact form, homepage of the website. Yep. There's a text bubble there as well on the homepage of the website if you prefer to text instead of call. But you can call as well if you want to do it the old-fashioned way.
We had a bunch of calls yesterday. Actually, was on inspections this morning. The last few days.
You do inspections?
Absolutely.
You mean there might be an opportunity if someone's coming in, if they call Hudco to come do inspection, that Ryan Theriot could show up and get on the roof and do an inspection?
There's a good chance I'm going to be there. Yeah. Was on one right off of Highland Road today.
Certified shingle master.
Oh, well.
That's actually not even a joke. It's legitimate.
That's true. I am.
Certified shingle master. Mm-hmm.
So the homeowner's going to file a claim.
And
we're going to walk them through the process, and we'll get them a new roof.
And we'll get you a hat.
And a hat.
Hudco Roofing. HudcoRoofing.com. Yeah, go to break news.
AFR.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Call Mr. Electric today for electrical repairs, upgrades, and installations.
A certified pre-owned vehicle means that it's been certified by factory-trained technicians. It meets a stringent criteria of over 155-point inspection. We want to make sure that vehicle is mechanically sound and that we have a warranty to back it up. There's no mileage limitation. You can be assured that you're driving a vehicle, you got a good value, you'll get that special financing, those special incentives on certain models, and some of the other amenities that you get with a certified pre-owned vehicle.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
Sports wouldn't be the same without the die-hard fans. That's why we're highlighting the fans that do the most. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge brings you the Citizens Bank Fan of the Week. Check it out at 1045ESPN.com.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. The Riot Radio Hour with Ryan Theriot and Matt Moscona, presented by Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge.
My guys, Hess, over at Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge, and Nick are just stacking best of the best awards over and over, year after year. As always, the service department of Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge is second to none. If you walk through the doors, you can feel how great the culture is. Everyone's so inviting. I absolutely enjoy my time every time I'm in the showroom over at Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge. I'd like to tell you guys about the 2021 GLE 450. This is a beautiful diamond white, beige, and black interior. Tons of options on this vehicle. SUV, driver assistant package, third row seating so you can fit all the little ones in there. AMG line interior, exterior, premier package, heated and ventilated front seats, and 21-inch upgraded wheels. This thing is sick. Go check it out at Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge over on Airline Highway, or go to mbobr.com.
Second round of the NFL draft begins 1 hour, 39 minutes from right now. If you're in Baton Rouge, you'll hear it right here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. You can watch, of course, on ESPN television. The LSU Arkansas baseball series, you can listen to that on our sister station, Eagle 98.1. Also a 6 o'clock first pitch tonight for LSU and Arkansas. Really pulling for the Tigers to manage a way to get one in this series against the Hogs. They win the series, spectacular. But realistically, find a way to scratch out a win in this series over the number one team in the country. It'll bolster your RPI just playing the number one team in the country. LSU already has the toughest strength of schedule in the country. So,
how do you feel? You think they're going to pull one out?
I do. I'm a little concerned. Tell me your thoughts. I'm a little concerned about Labus because, well, you tell me your thoughts here. So, last week, Labus beat Doug Nikhazy. And Nikhazy's a lefty and he's a dominant pitcher. He's a great pitcher. But the week before, Nikhazy had thrown 125 pitches in a complete game, and it was 1 day short rest, and it was and he pitched really. He still struck out 11 or 12, but he battled a lot. And so I guess I worry a little bit about Labus. Now he's getting an extra day, right? He'll pitch on Saturday, so he pitched Friday last week, but he threw a complete game, 125 pitches, whatever it was. So I mean, would you expect maybe a little bit of a laborious effort from Labus against this offense? I think Marceau tonight is your shot.
If you look at the pitch count for Labus, I can see how you'd say that, but like you said, he's got an extra day's rest, and coming off the game that he pitched last week, he's got to be just itching to get back on the mound and back on the rubber. You know, when you throw that well and you and feel that good, man, you want to go back out there and do it again. It's like when you get 3 or 4 hits, man, you can't wait for that next day to start. So I'm not as concerned about Labus. I do feel like, you know, he would, judging from what he did last week, like he's got a pretty legit shot to get us that victory this weekend. You know, the fact that they go TBA and we go TBA on Sunday is interesting to me. I don't know enough about their bullpen and how that plays out, but I could see how it could work one way or the other also. So the Marceau matchup, we know what he's going to do. I feel like we have an advantage there with Marceau, and then Labus riding the highs, man. You know, one of those games, I think you got a good shot.
Patrick Wicklander is the Friday night guy for Arkansas. So tonight it's Marceau against Wicklander, they're both junior righties. Wicklander is not a big strikeout pitcher. I'm looking at it right here. It's 44 strikeouts and 41 innings pitched. As compared to Marceau, who's got 72 strikeouts and 60 innings pitched. This is an opportunity for LSU to hit the baseball. I think they just need Marceau to be the guy. I mean, they need him to go be a stud, and I think you can get this win tonight. Arkansas did lose the Friday night game to Alabama and to Auburn. So it's not like Vanderbilt with Jack Leiter, which is just kind of like, all right, just scribble the L in the loss column, right? I mean, try to get a different one. They've lost a couple of Friday night games. They've lost a couple of Saturday games. They've lost a Sunday game. It's, you know, you can nip them somewhere. You just got to put it together in one of these games and find a way to win one.
Yeah. I feel good. I think they're going to get at least one.
I hope so, man. They really need it. 6 o'clock first pitch tonight. It is on the SEC Network. You can listen on Eagle 98.1. Of course, the draft resumes. Was there anything? We'll do Kick Rocks in a second. Terrio's got to get out of here. He's going to watch Houston's baseball game. But anything else in the draft last night that – well, you didn't watch it. Never mind.
No, I did. I watched bits and pieces of it.
You know what? Because you came in here just trying to jab me in the balls. A little graphic, wasn't it? Sorry.
Yeah, but that's not true.
That's what you were doing.
No, it's not.
Look, I mean, I even got people texting the show. They're like, I love when Terry is here, except when he tries to talk about the Saints, because all he does is just try to troll everybody.
No, I'm not trying to troll anybody. That's how I feel. That's like real stuff.
And by the way, Dwayne Robinette said, Matt, I'm not a do-gooder, but giving the Bentley key back was right. No, it wasn't, Dwayne.
Yeah, it was the right thing to do.
You sound like another Dwayne I know who loses a bet and doesn't want to pay up. Like that clown show in Thibodeau. I wonder if that's him.
Might be.
That might be. You think that's him? Do you think that could be Dwayne from Thibodeau?
Does it have his number on there?
Dwayne Robinette. No, this app doesn't show me their phone number. It just tells me their name. I wonder if this is from New Orleans. No. I think Thibodeau. Lost a bet. Look, you didn't ask Derek Lee to bet you his Bentley. He offered that up.
Yeah.
He offered that up. So what did you do the next day when you came and brought him the key back?
I gave him the keys back.
What did he say?
Well, he took it back. He took it back.
Bro, someone offers a Bentley to me in a race and I beat him, I'm keeping the Bentley. Now, if I beat you in a race, you slow as
Well, yeah. I mean, let's do
Slippity boop.
Yeah, let's do like a real.
That's what I'm saying.
Not a race.
That's what I look.
Arm wrestling match.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, a different lifetime. You want to go distance running? Come on, I got you. I mean, now, not so much.
For a Bentley, you're getting them.
Different lifetime it was. Not no more.
Mm-mm. Nah, bro.
My aching knees and back, they can kick rocks.
It's now time to kick rocks with Ryan Theriot.
Kick rock.
Presented by Roto-Rooter Plumbing.
NBA can kick rocks because they're so dang sensitive.
What are you looking at? Kick rocks.
As a matter of fact, the NFL can kick rocks too.
We've got rocks. You know what to do.
In that case, then Matt's going to have to kick rocks.
Now let's see if Ryan Theriot actually prepared for this week's segment.
I'm going to tell myself to kick rocks.
Get on down the road and kick rocks.
We talked about this a little bit last week. The other team in New Orleans.
Ask Ryan what size is that shirt.
It's a large. The other team in New Orleans, the Pelicans, can kick rocks.
Kick rocks.
Stop trying to win basketball games.
Yeah,
we talked
right.
about it last week.
Yeah.
Just stop, okay? If you sneak in the playoffs, great. But you're not going to win. So let's just lose so we can get a higher draft pick, so we can get a better player and maybe win in a couple years.
For real.
Stop trying to be heroes and win games and sneak in the playoffs and lose in the first round. It's brutal.
Yeah.
Man, I hope you saw this, Matt.
Probably did.
Major League Baseball umpire Marty Foster, old Marty. He was there when I played.
Oh, man, I did see this.
Yeah, old Marty Foster. Yeah.
Holy moly.
So the Marlins and the Brewers are playing.
Free holy.
Yep.
I'll find the video.
Marlins and Brewers are playing, and kid from the Marlins hits a ground ball kind of in between pitcher and first base. The pitcher fields it. He takes 3 or 4 steps toward first base, and then he throws it over to the first baseman for the out. And I would say he was probably 4 to 5 feet away from the cut of the grass, so he was another 2 feet from the foul line. Okay?
Here it is. You got it, Paulie?
So he's probably 4 or 5 feet from the... So old Marty Foster, because he wants everybody to look at him, because that's what you umpires do. Y'all got to be the center of attention. He calls interference or obstruction on the pitcher. And he's not even close. There's not even a play at the base. He calls interference because it's all about Marty Foster. Look at him. He's an idiot. Kick rocks.
Kick rocks.
Terrible call. And Craig Counsell can kick rocks, too, for not getting ejected.
Get on down the road and kick rocks.
That's brutal.
Terrible.
Nacho Man and Zavage apparently on Twitter said the Riot said he wishes he could have a ride that smooth. He had the Bentley, all caps.
I know, I did.
You had the Bentley.
Yeah, but it wasn't mine.
It was yours. You won it fair and square.
I did. I won it fair and square.
What happens like if you go on Wheel of Fortune and you win a car? Are you going to give it back the next day?
It's Wheel of Fortune.
You feel bad?
Yeah, because you're not going to have to. Derek was my locker mate. Like, I'd have to see him every day with his car keys. No. It was the right thing to do.
No, it wasn't the right thing to do. He bet you a Bentley. That's on him. Learn your lesson, Derek Lee.
He did.
And if you want the Bentley back, you're going to have to pay me for the Bentley.
I could have raced him again and lost on purpose and gave him his
Or
Bentley
you
back.
could have said, if you want the Bentley back, you can pay me for the Bentley. Let's go look up what the market value is of this vehicle today. Let's blue book it. You can pay me for my car if you would like my car.
It's not the right thing to do.
It is the right thing to do. The wrong thing to do is Derek Lee betting and losing.
Yeah. He underestimated Rye.
Big bad Rye guy.
I didn't watch the entire NFL draft last night,
No
but I
kidding.
did watch bits and pieces. And the length between draft picks can kick rocks.
Kick rocks.
They've actually shortened it. You realize it used to be 15 minutes?
That's unbelievable.
Then it was to 10, now it's to 7.
That's unbelievable.
I know.
I mean, that is a tough watch. It's a tough watch. Very tough. And I would like to give a hug as well.
That's why you should come to Pluckers and hang out with us. There were drink specials. We booed a Falcons fan. Gave away a big, giant beer fridge. $500 Pluckers gift card.
Who won the beer fridge?
It was a girl who won it.
Good for her.
I got the name of the winners in my car. Their tickets in my car. Do you remember the name, Muse?
Was it Katie? Kelly?
It was Katie Clark.
Katie Clark. There it is.
Katie Clark won the fridge.
Somebody got $500.
And a gentleman won the $500 Pluckers gift card. I forgot his. Do you remember his name?
I don't.
Okay. It's in my car.
I'd like to give a hug if I can do that before I get out of here. Alabama running back Najee Harris.
Why are we hugging him?
Najee and his family spent the better part of 7 years in a homeless shelter when he was a child.
Didn't know that.
Yep. Which makes me root for him. Upon getting drafted yesterday with the 24th overall pick to the Steelers, he spent his draft party throwing a party for kids at the homeless shelter that he grew up at.
Oh, that is awesome. I like him now.
And he brought a ton of food for the kids and threw a party for them. So that's how he spent it. Rather than wearing the $50,000 suits, he was giving back to kids that were in need. So
very cool.
Good on you, Najee Harris. I am a fan.
You just said you're a fan of a Bama guy.
I am. Well done.
Who's now a Pittsburgh Steeler.
Yep.
Ewell Sullivan said you did the right thing, Ryan.
Thanks,
Muso, Twitter poll. Should Theriot have given back the Bentley? Theriot won a Bentley from David Lee from Derek Lee. David Lee was a basketball player. Right? David Lee was a basketball player at Florida, the big three-point shooter. Remember
maybe.
David Lee?
Mm-hmm.
He played for the Warriors.
Maybe.
Theriot won a Bentley from Derek Lee and gave it back. Did he do the right thing? Yes or no? The answer is no, by the way. He did not do the right thing. He lost it. He lost the Bentley. What if it was $5? Would you have taken the $5?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Would you have given the $5 back?
Mm-mm.
Okay. The premise is the same. Now you're just talking about the stakes. We've established the fact that you won fair and square.
I did. It was the right thing to do.
It was not the right thing to do.
There's a big difference between $5 and $100,000.
No. What's the whole thing? Isn't it the Churchill thing? It's like this man goes to this stately woman and says, would you sleep with me for $1? And she says, no. And then he says, would you sleep with me for $1 million? She says, well, I would, yeah. So would you sleep with me for $1? She said, no. What type of woman do you think I am? He said, we've established that. Now we're just haggling over price.
Like that.
That's all this is. You're just haggling over price now. We've established that keeping it is the right thing to do because you would keep the money. You would keep the $5.
And then he would resent me and be mad at me. He's my locker mate.
It's his problem.
No, I get it.
He's the one who bet the Bentley.
Yeah.
That's his fault.
No.
It's his fault. He bet the Bentley.
You would have given it back to him.
I guarantee you I would not.
Yeah, you would.
No, I guarantee. I'm the guy who's been sitting here now for 3 years yelling about some dope face who called me every Friday wanting to bet me $500. He loses the bet, hasn't paid up. I banned him from the show, and I call him out anytime I hear him. You don't go run your mouth. You don't go pop off. Bet somebody something you aren't willing to back up. That's chicken bleep. I actually have more respect
he was willing
for
to
Derek
back it up.
Lee
No, he
for
backed it up.
tossing you the keys.
Yeah.
100% respect to him.
Yeah, he did.
Now, he also should have not taken it back from you.
Yeah.
That's chicken bleep.
Yeah. I don't know about that. It was nice, though.
Should have kept it.
Whew.
You had it. All right, go to your kid's baseball game. Thanks for coming in. That's Ryan Theriot. This is After Further Review.
AFR.
Brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time, or you don't pay a dime. Had a great lunch today with Matt and Paul over at River City's 1 Hour Air. How weird is that? Matt, Rick, and Paul Ragusa. Matt Musso, Paul O'Neill.
How about
Matt
that?
And Paul from Matt. I just
so weird.
One of the great things about River City's 1 Hour Air is customer satisfaction. They go to such great lengths to make sure the work at your home is done right the first time with the most up-to-date technology to make sure you are thrilled with the service. Listen, it's South Louisiana. You're going to have issues with your unit. Everyone does. Things don't get better. They get worse when you have that unit sitting outside year after year after year. Who are you going to call? You going to call Chuck in a Truck? Who's out of business because you saved a few bucks to do an install? No. Call the company that's been around forever, that's reputable, that wants to treat you great, that has 1 million positive reviews. It's River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001.
At Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA, $2,000 can get you into a new Camry for $299 per month. That's $299 per month. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Service Master Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Can you feel it? Spring is almost here, and if you got a new boat for Christmas or you just want to take your boat to a new level, you want front-to-back boat service, HD displays, live sonar that show the fish before you cast, trolling motors. At front to back, they got not one, but two NMEA certified techs for all of your marine electronic needs. How does a brand new speaker system sound? Well, guess what? They do that too. So call 225-928-9644 or go to front to back boat service.
$12,500 off MSRP. Bayou Ford wants to put you in a brand new 2020 Ford Expedition today with $12,500 off MSRP. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty, and with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
50 years ago on Easter Sunday, Breck's Baton Rouge Zoo proudly opened our doors, and we've been hopping ever since. 5 decades of connecting people with animals, teaching our community about the problems facing wildlife and how we can help, and working with zoos across the world to protect endangered species. Today, our future is taking flight by stretching the possibilities of what your zoo can become, while we keep it fun and affordable for everyone. Thanks for coming along.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, so Theriot had to leave, but the plot thickens. You missed this. He's walking out. He's like, yeah, there's one poker. I won a poker game on a flight from New York to Tampa, and I won $56K. And then he said he also won a watch from Milton Bradley, a Breitling that had diamond studs all over the face and the band. He kept the watch and sold it. I'm like, what? But you know what he said? I didn't like Milton Bradley.
That's good reason. Look, I mean, he was saying, I mean, Derek Lee was his boy, like probably one of his favorite, if not his favorite teammates of all time. I can understand that a little bit. You're more likely, if you don't like somebody, to keep their stuff they lose to you.
Maybe Derek Lee was trying to give him a Bentley.
Maybe. A really generous gift.
Well, you signed a $100 million contract.
Yeah.
You can afford a Bentley.
But if he was trying to give it to him, I don't think he would have taken it back.
That's true. All right, it's After Further Review. Glad you're with us here. Sam Kahn's going to join us in 20 minutes. Sam Kahn, who's been a contributor to the show over the years, now with The Athletic. He is a University of Houston alum and knows a lot, apparently, about Payton Turner. So we're going to talk to Sam Kahn about the Saints' first-round draft pick to try to get some semblance of an idea of who this guy is from someone who's actually seen him play. So we'll do that in about 20 minutes from right now. One other story that I did want to take some time to hit on is the Aaron Rodgers story, which ballooned yesterday and became such a big deal after Adam Schefter reported that that Aaron Rodgers wanted out of Green Bay. And apparently Green Bay not interested in trading Aaron Rodgers. Their GM, Brian Gutekunst, said, we're not going to trade Aaron Rodgers. Okay. For what it's worth, Mike Florio at Pro Football Talk did report last night that the teams that Aaron Rodgers apparently is most interested in would be the 49ers, the Raiders, and the Broncos. So those would be the teams that Rodgers would prefer. And again, also according to Florio, Rodgers was trying to persuade them to accept the 49ers deal. We do not know what the terms of that proposed deal were. My assumption is that every team in the NFL who is quarterback needy should have and probably did call to inquire, including the New Orleans Saints. I'm curious, ultimately, if Green Bay will trade him, and if so, to where do they trade him? It sounds somewhat foolish that they would part ways, but it is also worth noting that Green Bay has a financial incentive to wait until after June 1 to trade Aaron Rodgers. If they traded him before June 2nd, they would have a $31.55 million cap hit, plus a charge coming from the $6.8 million roster bonus that's already been paid. So it would accelerate to $38.35 million. Let me say that again. If Green Bay trades Aaron Rodgers pre-June 1, he would count $38.35 million against the cap this year in Green Bay. If they wait until June 2nd, that cap charge reduces to $14.3 million, and the balance pushes to $17.198 million in 2022. So it becomes much more financially palatable if they trade him after June 1. Does the next month sort of cause these issues between the Packers and Aaron Rodgers to dissolve? And with time, the same time heals wounds, it's true. Let everybody settle down a bit, and he gets back on track and ready to roll for the 2021 season? Or does he feel the exact same? And if he feels the exact same June 1, and he pushes for a trade, continues to push for a trade, will the Packers oblige? And then the question just becomes who could put together the best deal. And I'm selfishly looking at it through the Saints lens. And I don't know if they can, but what I do know is that the Saints tried to put together a package for Russell Wilson. And whatever package you were putting together for Russell Wilson, which involved picks and likely players, starting players in the NFL, that is something similar that you would try to offer for Aaron Rodgers. You know, I look at it two ways. It would be very similar to Indianapolis, allowing Payton Manning to finish his career in Denver and make one more run, just like what Tom Brady is doing right now in Tampa Bay, although he was a free agent. He was free to sign wherever he wanted. But we've seen it. The curious thing, though, would be if Green Bay would trade Rodgers within the NFC. Now, remember, Brett Favre signed in Minnesota. So Green Bay has seen their legendary quarterback not only play in the NFC, but in their division. Flip side of it is a guy like Tom Brady, who went from New England to Tampa, or Joe Montana, who went from San Francisco to Kansas City, went from the NFC to the AFC. So in some sense, it would make sense if you're Green Bay, if you're going to trade Aaron Rodgers, trade him far away to where you never have to see him. Trade him to Denver, trade him to Las Vegas. but who can put together the best deal for that guy. That might also explain why, potentially, the Saints were willing to hang on to their future assets. I mean, consider this, right? I mean, if you're any team that thinks you might be in the Aaron Rodgers, potentially in the Aaron Rodgers sweepstakes, you need to have all of your assets to be able to package together an attractive deal, right? I mean, just think about, I'm no conspiracy theorist here. But you're not doing your due diligence if you're not at least thinking, okay, we got a chance to get the reigning MVP for 3, 4, 5 years, whatever it may be. If you're not doing your due diligence, okay, what might it cost to do that? If you're not thinking in those terms, you're not doing your due diligence. You're being negligent. So yeah, the Saints, maybe let's see what they do today. If the Saints move around today, are they trading future picks or this year's picks if they move up to snag a player? Because if they maintain future picks like they did, I mean, maybe they wanted to go into the top 10 yesterday, but the possibility of Aaron Rodgers, hey, look, let's hang on to our 2022 first, our 2023 first round. Let's hang on to all these picks in case if we need to package them together in a deal for this generational talent. It's not out of the realm of possibility. That's at least in their thought. Today will be interesting. See what the Saints can do. We will, again, talk about Payton Turner with Sam Kahn in about 15 minutes. We'll go to Houston and get some perspective on the Saints' first-round draft pick. We'll knock out a quick break. We will continue our LSU Arkansas preview in the next hour as well, and what I'm hoping to see from the Saints here in day 2 and day 3 of the draft. That's all coming up in hour number 3. We're brought to you by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Glad you're hanging around with us. Muso will have Tigers and the Pros to wrap up the hour next.
AFR.
Better coverage for less money. That's what Insurance Network of Louisiana offers, and I tell you that every single day I have people that text me, that email me, that tweet me, say, hey, Matt, who's the insurance company that you always talk about? Well, happened today. James Morrissey on Twitter, honest to goodness true, I'll put it up right here, tweeted me it was 5 hours ago. He said, Matt, what insurance company is it that sponsors AFR, please? I replied, hey, James, you looking for Insurance Network of Louisiana, 293-0450. He replied, on the phone with him now. Thanks. I'll follow up and let you know what James has to say, like so many of you follow up with me after you've had a great experience with Insurance Network of Louisiana. They shop independently for free, dozens of the top-rated companies in the world, to see if they can get you better coverage for less money, and it is free to have them shop for you. 293-0450, 293-0450, 293-0450, or lainsurance.net.
Yo, Jacob Hester here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Center, the place that can be at your convenience during those inconvenient times. I know they've been that for me. I've got 4 boys, right? So sometimes stitches happen, and they have 6 convenient locations, one close to you to be able to be convenient for you. Remember, you can also check in online. PatientPlusUC.com is the website. That way you skip the line as well. Patient Plus Urgent Care Center, get in and get better.
A certified pre-owned vehicle means that it's been certified by factory-trained technicians. It meets a stringent criteria of over 155-point inspection. We want to make sure that vehicle is mechanically sound and that we have a warranty to back it up. There's no mileage limitation. You can be assured that you're driving a vehicle, you got a good value, you'll get that special financing, those special incentives on certain models, and some of the other amenities that you get with the certified pre-owned vehicle.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks
have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big V and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Call Mr. Electric today for electrical.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, wrapping up hour number 2. We're brought to you by Don Juan Cigar Bar. In 9 minutes, we'll head to Houston, talk to Sam Kahn Jr. of The Athletic about Payton Turner, the Saints' first-round draft pick. Right now, though, Musso has Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now. Presented by Kentucky's Best Hemp. Find them online at kysbesthemp.com.
Officially welcome Ja'Marr Chase into the Tigers in the Pros segment, as last night Ja'Marr selected 5th overall by the Cincinnati Bengals. Of course, reuniting him with Joe Burrow. Ja'Marr joined Westwood One Radio and was asked what defenses can expect from him and Joe.
You can respect the show, I can tell you that. I keep saying it because that's what I'm trying to do. That's what I know he's trying to do just because we came back off of his injury. So we're going to get back to work as soon as possible, get back to it, get back to this chemistry, learn the offense, and be a Bengal.
Ja'Marr Chase will wear number 1 with the Cincinnati Bengals. To the NBA, Naz Reid and the Timberwolves squared off with the Warriors last night. Reid, 15 minutes off the bench, 6 of 9 shooting, 13 points, 5 boards, and 1 block for Naz. To Major League Baseball, Tigers played a doubleheader with the White Sox yesterday. Jacoby Jones in Game 1 of the doubleheader, 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. He did not see the field in Game 2, but Alex Lang saw the field in Game 2. 1 inning of relief, not his best outing. 3 hits, 3 runs all earned, no walks, and a strikeout. The ERA ballooned up to 6 on the year for Lang. And finally, on the PGA Tour, the Valspar Championship, day number 2, Sam Burns sitting at 11 under par for the tournament, 7 under on his round, just 1 shot back of leader Keegan Bradley. Burns through 14 holes, so a little time to close the gap, maybe even take the lead. And that is Tigers in the Pros.
Presented by KYSBestHemp.com. KYSBestHemp.com. Kentucky's Best Hemp. This is your last day, y'all. Told you all this month, 40% off site-wide. Today's the last day of the month. So get to the website, spring cleaning sale, no code needed, 40% off everything until midnight tonight. Online at KYSBestHemp.com. KYSBestHemp.com. Kentucky's Best Hemp. Payton Turner goes 28th overall, first pick for the New Orleans Saints in this year's draft. Sean Payton, when he met with the media last night, did talk about the team's vision for Payton Turner.
The vision that everyone has and what we feel like the player can do early on. And it's hard to find those players, guys that we feel like can rush the passer, guys that have that stature. So it was one of those picks that I know the scouts, as well as the coaches, all of us involved. I mean, he's someone that has got a fantastic makeup. So he's exciting.
There's still a lot of needs, but for those wondering about Turner the player, Louis Riddick had this to say.
The number one thing that jumps off the tape with you about Payton Turner is his effort.
in this hustle. This guy chases the football all over the place like a madman. And at 6'6", when you put his hand down is when you really see that first step explosiveness. And he's got nice explosiveness. Although he's a high-cut guy, high-waisted guy, long legs, long limbs, he can bend and he can change direction. But I'll tell you, the effort he plays with is exactly what you would want to find. Hopefully he's able to stay healthy and stay on the football field. Because I'll tell you what, his tape is impressive. I don't care what the level of competition was. His tape's impressive.
Saints with a ton of work still left to do in this draft, a lot of positions still to address, and they'll get to that coming up in a little more than an hour. We're talking about Payton Turner next.
AFR.
Brought to you by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge, Ambassador Caffrey in Lafayette, online at theantiagingclinics.com. Went by this morning. Told you I've been a hormone replacement therapy client at Aesthetic for years now. Men, women, if you're young, old, no matter how young or old you feel, simple blood test can let you know if you're a candidate for hormone replacement therapy to get you feeling like your younger self again. Have more energy when you wake up, sleep better at night potentially, easier to build muscle tone, burn fat, everything that happens because of testosterone levels when you're a young person. You can achieve that again, whether you're a man or a woman, whether you're young or old, however you feel. A simple blood test can let you know. theantiagingclinics.com. Ideal Protein as well. Still feeling great results. If you want to lose those pandemic pounds before you hit beach and pool season, Ideal Protein from the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Have you been arrested for DUI or other traffic violations? Have you made a mistake? We all have. You're not a bad person. Call the law offices of O.C. Brown at 225-343-1111 or connect with us online at ocbrown.com.
$12,500 off MSRP. Bayou Ford wants to put you in a brand new 2020 Ford Expedition today with $12,500 off MSRP. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty, and with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Call Mr. Electric today for electrical repairs, upgrades, and installations.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
A certified pre-owned vehicle means that it's been certified by factory-trained technicians. It meets a stringent criteria of over 155-point inspection. We want to make sure that vehicle is mechanically sound and that we have a warranty to back it up. There's no mileage limitation. You can be assured that you're driving a vehicle, you got a good value, you'll get that special financing, those special incentives on certain models, and some of the other amenities that you get with a certified pre-owned vehicle.
This hour is brought to you by Spencer Callahan.
The Atlanta Falcons select Kyle Pitts, tight end, Florida.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios. That's right.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt.
I appreciate it, bud. Have a good one.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Muso. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you are driving home with us on this Friday. Inside of 60 minutes now from first pitch of LSU and Arkansas out at the box, and inside of 60 minutes of the resumption of the 2021 NFL Draft. Saints got on the board last night, 28th overall, and they took Payton Turner, the defensive end out of Houston. Turned a lot of heads because not many of us were expecting that pick. Not many of us know much about that pick. So let's turn to a guy who could tell us more about Payton Turner, Sam Conn of The Athletic. Good enough to join us for a couple of minutes. Sam, thanks for the time, man. Great to have you back. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing really well, man. All right, so let's start with maybe some pretty obvious big picture ones. Were you surprised, or what was your reaction when you heard the Saints took Payton Turner 28th?
Well, I wasn't terribly surprised, not necessarily from the Saints' perspective, but just from Payton going in the first round, just for the simple fact that in the last few days, there had been a lot of buzz about Turner being a potential late first-round pick. The reason being is that this draft has not been terribly deep on defensive linemen. You know, we got 18 picks last night before we saw one come off the board, and I ended up trying to research and see when was the last time that we went this far in the draft without a defensive lineman being drafted, and it's been at least 30, 40 years.
Wow.
I couldn't even actually end up getting that answer. But that said, is pass rushers are always at a premium in football, whether it's high school football, college football, NFL. And Payton Turner can do that. He's a tremendous asset as a pass rusher. He's obviously an edge rusher, most likely in the NFL, but he can play multiple positions. And his pro day was fantastic. And he checks off a lot of boxes from a leadership standpoint, a character standpoint, and he's got the size and athleticism that you want. So all the things that you look for as an NFL scout, he pretty much checks all those boxes.
So what caused him to and correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like with pro day and everything, his stock elevated of late. What was it about him that caused the stock to rise?
I think it was, one, his performance at pro day, two, how well he interviews, and the raves that he got from coaches, teammates, everybody that's been around him. I mean, from the time even that he was recruited at Houston, when he was a two-star kid coming out of Westside High, he was a long, lanky kid, 6'5", 220 as a recruit, really developed his body and took to the game right away to learn how to play along the defensive line. He was really raw as a high school prospect. So he had to develop all his pass rush skills while he was at Houston. And he did a really good job with that, and again, became a big-time leader on the team. So you couple that, all the character traits that are huge, and then the pro day performance that was really strong. He had good vertical. He could, runs really well. I think his three-cone time was really good. His short shuttle time was good for his position. So all those things, you look at that, and you look at the versatility that he's a guy that can play on the edge. He can stand up. He can put his hand in the dirt. All those things add up to a guy that looks like a promising prospect that you can plug and play.
Is he a guy that has been mostly durable during his time in college?
That has been the challenge. So last year he did get banged up a little bit. He missed 3 of the 8 games that Houston played. He was tremendously productive in the 5 they did play, but he did miss a few. And then his junior year, he had to play with, I think it was 4 broken or dislocated fingers. Now, he did not miss games for that. He played through them, but he was certainly played through banged up, and it affected his production. But, yeah, he definitely has had some injuries in his past. He also had an ACL injury as a high school senior. So he does have some injuries in his past, but for the most part, with the exception of the end of his senior year, he has been able to see the field pretty consistently.
Sam Conn Jr. is our guest of The Athletic, talking about Payton Turner, the Saints' first-round draft pick. The Saints, maybe more than any team that I've covered, value culture so much. I mean, look, after their back-to-back 7-9 seasons, they really cleaned house and got rid of a lot of veteran players who weren't bought in, even productive veteran players. A lot of people are raving about the press conference last night that Payton Turner gave after he was picked. What can you tell us about Payton Turner, the person, the young man?
He's known as a really sense of humor. He's got a great sense of humor, very likable, got along with his teammates really well, and also was a leader. I talked to Doug Belk, the defensive coordinator at Houston, yesterday, and he said he's a leader, not a follower. Guys noticed when he talked, and they paid attention to what he said, and he was an example for other guys in his room and across the team. Not likable kid off the field, funny, intelligent, and works hard. He does not take plays off. If you watch his video, the guy plays hard. The play that Belk told me that was his favorite play of Turner's at Houston was last year when they played BYU. He was chasing Zach Wilson, and Zach dumps off a pass to the fullback. Fullback goes 20 yards downfield. Turner was about 5 yards behind him and chased him down and caught up. By the time the fullback hits the turf, Turner was right there getting in on the tackle. And that's the kind of effort that he gives on every play, and I think that won a lot of people over both at Houston and in the NFL scout circle.
Can he play inside as well as outside?
He can. He absolutely can. He actually did a little bit at Houston. I think it was his junior year, he bulked up, or sophomore year, he bulked up to about 280, 285, even close to 290, and played a lot inside. So he can do that. He can play the three technique and get his hand down. But I think his best fit long-term in the NFL is probably on the edge.
Sam Conn Jr., what type of player, person, what else would you say to Saints fans who are obviously saw this pick and maybe a little concerned that it's a player they don't know a ton about the type of guy and player they're getting?
I think when you look at draft prospects, I think the important thing is not look at where they played or where they were placed on a mock draft, is what kind of traits do they have? And I think that we find that in recruiting. I cover mostly college football, and you see guys are looking for elite traits. Do they have the size? Do they have the athleticism? Do they have the personality and the character traits that you want? If you check all those boxes off, then you have got one half the battle, in my opinion. Because the thing is can you play A, which we know he can do, and he's a tremendous producer. Like I said, five games last year, 5 sacks, and a half tackles for loss. Plenty of production for the time that he played. Then the off-the-field stuff, you see there's no red flags in his background in that regard. So that means that you're going to be able to rely on that guy. And the other question is does a guy play hard, which he does all the time. So I think when you put all those things together, that makes for a pretty solid prospect. And those are the types of things that make a guy like Payton, who maybe was a third-round guy at one point or a late second-round guy, shoot up the board, because you start comparing to other guys who do have some flaws or some red flags, then it kind of moves him up because he compares favorably in that regard.
You have an NFL comp, a player he maybe reminds you of?
I do not. I'm not an NFL scout, so I can't say that. But I think he was a tremendous kid. I'll tell you what. He's the other thing to know about him in his background is he was a 2-sport star in high school. He played a lot of basketball, and he actually was recruited as a basketball prospect also before he signed with Houston. That ended up going by the wayside after he tore his knee up because he didn't get to play senior year of high school. But he's got some athleticism to him just because he was a multi-sport star in his background.
Sam Conn of The Athletic, shedding some light on the Saints' first-round draft pick, Payton Turner. Appreciate you jumping aboard today, man. Thanks for the time.
No problem. Thanks for having me. Okay,
Sam, be well. It is After Further Review. Glad you're hanging out with us here. We are brought to you by GMFS Mortgage and GMFSmortgage.com. I got some more thoughts I want you to hear from Payton Turner here in just a quick second, especially because some of the things he said last night have gotten a lot of people's attention. But GMFSmortgage.com, changing lives since 1999. They are our state's largest local lender. We keep reiterating this over and over. But in an effort to stimulate our economy, the Fed has lowered interest rates. We are at historic lows. We are talking about rates sub 3. My wife and I, when we bought our home in 2016, our rate was near 4. It was about a 3.75, 3.8, somewhere there. We refinanced into the 2.7 range. It's incredible. It's almost like free money Take advantage of it while it's here. If you own your home, it is worth a call to see if you can refinance your mortgage and save money each month on your mortgage payment. GMFSmortgage.com. GMFSmortgage.com. GMFS Mortgage, changing lives. So, Payton Turner was speaking with the media last evening after he was picked and was asked where he was expected to be drafted.
I mean, I've heard from GMs, coaches, and everything. They try to keep it low key, but I mean, I figured I was somewhere in the range of 20 to 40. So, I was really excited to get that call at 28 with the Saints. Just crazy organization, but yeah, I mean, I had expectations to go 20 to 40. So,
it's interesting that he said 20 to 40 because Adam Schefter, as I mentioned, did tweet yesterday, and this was while we were on the air around 3:30 yesterday. Schefter tweeted, in a draft light on defensive linemen, here's a name that could be called tonight. Houston defensive end Payton Turner could go in the first round due to his character, medicals, and length, some NFL executives believe. So clearly, Schefter had that nugget that he was rising boards, and maybe that was a guy, if he was going to go 40, he wouldn't have been on the board for the Saints at the end of round 2. So they took a guy that they really liked, and I like the idea of him playing inside as well. You had to replace Trey Hendrickson, so you've done that. You've added a defensive end here. The other thing I'll say is if you can come back tonight in rounds 2 and 3 and add a linebacker and a defensive back, regardless of what order they're picked, if you feel like you got starting players and contributors at those positions, I think you'll come out of tonight feeling pretty good. Turner also talked about, can you play 3, please? This was his draft night experience.
It was crazy. I can't even describe it now. Ecstatic, just relief. It's a dream come true. It doesn't really happen to too many people very often that their dream comes true. And then just for me to have my dream come true like that, it's just really special for me. I'm on cloud 9. I can't put it any other way besides that.
Do you remember who you talked to?
Yeah, I believe it was the area scout, and I talked to Coach Payton, and then the GM, and the D-line coach. I don't know. I talked about everybody. My head's spinning though. It's just a crazy experience. I'm just enjoying it.
Newest New Orleans Saint, Payton Turner, defensive end, goes 28 overall. So the Saints will resume tonight with 3 picks. They'll pick in round 2, and then they'll have 2 third-round picks as well tonight. They have the 60th overall pick, and then they have picks 98 and 105. It is worth noting the Saints have traded up 20 times in the last 14 years. 20 times they've traded up in the last 14 years. If there's someone on the board the Saints like early in round 2, I would not be surprised to see them go up and get in round 2 or moving up in round 3, package together 2 third-round picks to move up to get a player that they really like. So Saints will be back at it tonight. We'll talk in about 15 minutes or so about some of the players I might like to see them target here in day 2 of the draft. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll come back, talk a little LSU, Arkansas. Tigers and Hogs lineup has been posted for LSU. We're inside of an hour, 47 minutes away. We'll run through the LSU starting 9 here in just a quick second. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Clegg's Nursery. Buy local, shop local at Clegg's Nursery. Maybe dodging a few rain showers at times this weekend, but all that's going to do really is just cool things off. So it's a great opportunity to get out into your garden and just plant something. Just plant something. And Clegg's Nursery can help you. You're not sure what to plant? It doesn't matter. Just buy something colorful and beautiful and plant it in your flower bed, in your flower pots, in your garden. If you want that vegetable garden, they can help you out as well with that. They have Johnny Naylor seeds, or you can buy the vegetable plants at Clegg's Nursery. 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. Siega near Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore. You turn off of Florida onto Donmore. It's right there on the corner. And then the Garden Center on Greenwell Spring, the largest garden center in the state of Louisiana. And they're partnered with True Value Hardware Store. So really, it's a one-stop shop. They're saving you a trip. Bypass the big box store, buy local, and shop local like I tell you to do every day. Go see our friends and tell them Matt sent you in to Clegg's Nursery.
A A certified pre-owned vehicle means that it's been certified by factory-trained technicians. It meets a stringent criteria of over 155-point inspection. We want to make sure that vehicle is mechanically sound and that we have a warranty to back it up. There's no mileage limitation. You can be assured that you're driving a vehicle, you got a good value, you'll get that special financing, those special incentives on certain models, and some of the other amenities that you get with a certified pre-owned vehicle.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana Products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana Barbecue Sauce, Louisiana Molasses Mustard, Spicy and Sweet Barbecue Rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Can you feel it? Spring is almost here, and if you got a new boat for Christmas or you just want to take your boat to a new level, you want front-to-back boat service. HD displays, live sonar that show the fish before you cast, trolling motors. At Front to Back, they got not one, but two NMEA certified techs for all of your marine electronic needs. How does a brand new speaker system sound? Well, guess what? They do that too. So call 225-928-9644 or go to Front to Back Boat Service.
Have you been issued a ticket for texting, speeding, or other traffic violations? Have you made a mistake? We all have. You're not a bad person. Call the law office at
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
We are 42 minutes away from first pitch out at Alec Box Stadium. When Paul Mainieri met with the media yesterday, can you play 5, please? He did, unfortunately, have to mention the weather, which we're going to keep an eye on because we might be dodging some raindrops. Here's what Mainieri had to say yesterday.
I just got a text from Dave. I hadn't really even looked at the weather today yet. I'd been so busy with other things. And so after I got the text from Dave, I pulled up the weather channel and kind of took a big gulp and looked at our other weather services. And we're going to actually have a meeting tomorrow morning with our event management staff. And, you know, as we get closer to game time and take a look at it and see if we have to make any adjustments. And just kind of disappointing because we're now get 100% capacity. Now I'm worried that the weather is going to scare some people away and we might have to even make some adjustments. I'm not even sure yet. So it's kind of been one of those kind of years. Seems like the weather has just chased us everywhere we've been.
So here's the good news. Tonight looks pretty clear. I mean, it's cloudy, but it's clear. Tomorrow, Saturday, 82 degrees for the high, low of 66, cloudy, rain not in the forecast. That's fantastic news. Now, Sunday, they're calling for a 90% chance of thunderstorms. So theoretically, depending on when that storm may roll through, if it rolls through, you could move that game up if you needed to. The hope is obviously they avoid a doubleheader tomorrow, which nobody wants to see, the silly doubleheader games that they have to play. So we'll see how that all plays out. But as of right now, looks good. Definitely going to be curious to see what capacity looks like for LSU. And I love the graphic that they put out because they've been putting out the graphic for sporting events, mask required, whatever, and the graphic they put out is 100% capacity, no masks required, normal tailgating. Basically, go back to pre-COVID. I mean, that's essentially what LSU announced, which is great to see. So here's hoping with the number one team in the country coming in, such a critical juncture for this team as they continue to try to dig themselves out of that, that 1-8 start. This is just such a critical opportunity for them to see if they can go win a game or potentially even the series. So Arkansas is going to start Patrick Wicklander tonight. He's a junior lefty. He is a good pitcher, not an overpowering pitcher, but a very good starting pitcher. That's one of the oddities about Arkansas, considering they are a consensus number one. They don't have that Kumar Rocker or Jack Leiter, that guy at the front of the rotation that's going to strike out 15 potentially. So LSU should have the opportunity to put some balls in play. Paul Mainieri has posted the lineup. Run it down for you here. Excuse me. Morgan Cruz Dugas, as Gavin Dugas can be back in the lineup tonight. He missed the game against Grambling in the midweek, woke up with back spasms, but apparently he's good to go. He'll start, bat third, and play in left field. So Morgan Cruz Dugas. Doty will back cleanup. DiGiacomo had been there the past couple of games. So Doty, DiGiacomo, Thompson, 4, 5, 6. Arnold will bat seventh and play second base. Brody Drost is going to get the start and DH tonight. And then Alex Milazzo is going to catch and bat ninth. So the change there, obviously, is that Drew Bianco, who got the start at second base all weekend, last weekend in Oxford against Ole Miss, he's to the bench, and Arnold is back in the lineup, which I think by now you should know my feelings on that. Give me the more consistent bat, and that's not Drew Bianco. We have a large enough sample size over his career to know that that's simply the case. Brody Drost is interesting. That he's going to be in the lineup tonight, and Cade Beloso goes to the bench. So Drost is I get it here. But I'm a little skeptical that you're taking, obviously with the left-handed starting pitcher, you're taking Cade Beloso, a lefty, out of the lineup. But we also saw this last week, and I just don't like it. Beloso's a guy that in his career has hit left-handed pitching, and he's also a guy who throughout this season has been, even though his batting average hasn't been impressive, he's a guy who has managed to get on base. Consider that Dylan Cruz leads your team in on-base percentage, 470. Trey Morgan is next at 468. Cade Beloso's third at 377. I mean, despite the fact that he's hitting only 244, Cade Beloso is third on your team in on-base percentage. And the biggest reason is because he doesn't strike out. In 123 at-bats, he's only got 15 strikeouts. He's a good veteran SEC hitter who puts the ball in play. So it's really tough for me to justify taking a guy that's third on your team in on-base percentage and putting him on the bench in favor of a guy who is going to bring another right-handed bat to the lineup. But in SEC play, Brody Drost is only hitting 213. And you can look and you say, well, Beloso's hitting 244. But like we've talked about, since that Vanderbilt series, Beloso was batting 202 coming out of Vanderbilt. He's up to 244. He's raised his batting average 42 points over the last month. I mean, he's really started to have some good baseball fortune, which he didn't have early. And if he could ever just go the other way and stop hitting into the shift, he might be hitting 50 points higher. He might be hitting 300. But regardless, he puts the ball in play, manages to get on base. And with Drost, who's got 62 at-bats on the season, just by comparison, Drost has struck out 19 times in 62 at-bats. Beloso has struck out 15 times in 123 at-bats. Beloso has twice as many at-bats and 4 fewer strikeouts. He puts the ball in play, gets on base. So I understand what Paul Mainieri is doing here and trying to play the percentages and trying to get another right-handed bat in the lineup. He's the left, excuse me, but I just can't understand going with Drost here. over Dugas or over Beloso. Paul's been a guy we've talked about it a bunch, man. He's a guy that plays his hunches and has his reasons for going with guys that he goes with. And I know that Drost had 2 hits in the midweek game against Grambling, but that feels a lot like what we talked about earlier in the season with Hayden Travinski, where he was a guy that would get hits in the midweek, but really struggled in SEC play. So let's see. Let's see what happens tonight. So, again, we'll run through it. Again, Morgan, Cruz, Dugas, Doty, DiGiacomo, Thompson, Arnold, Drost, Milazzo. That's how they'll line it up tonight. So Drost will DH tonight in place of Cade Beloso. But see if the Tigers can get going. They'll need offense. Arkansas is the best offensive team in the SEC. They lead the SEC in runs scored. They lead the SEC in on-base percentage. They lead the country in home runs. So let's see if they can get rolling tonight offensively, maybe get something going against Wicklander, and get a really good performance tonight, hopefully, from Landon Marceau on the bump, who could be show that he can be an ace, every bit the ace that he's been at times this year. All right, y'all, it's after further review. If you want to tweet us, you can, at Matt Moscona, at 1045 ESPN. You can jump in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat. Thank you, Juice. Or you can always text me in the 225. It's 396-4400, 396-4400. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll come back, and I do want to jump back into the draft. 33 minutes and 30 seconds away from the resumption of the NFL draft. What might we be looking for with the Saints 3 picks tonight? I'll tell you what I'm looking for. If you want to get aboard, you can. Stick around with us here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Had a great lunch today over at Ichiban. Met up with the guys from River City's 1 Hour Air. Ichiban's always a great spot. If you need a quick business lunch, get in and out, you can. Right there, Essen near Perkins. We had a big plate of rolls. Pick your favorite specialty rolls. You really can't go wrong. You can just look at the specialty roll board and just order off of that. It'd be fantastic. It's at Ichiban, Essen near Perkins. And, of course, the newest concept from our friends at Ichiban is Bo-Ru Ramen in Electric Depot on Government Street. The weekend is here. Maybe you want to try something new. Mid-City is coming to life. It's so fun to watch all the developments. And, man, Electric Depot is certainly in that number. Bo-Ru is a great part of that. Indoor, outdoor dining. So no matter the weather, they've got you covered, quite literally. Live music every weekend at Bo-Ru as well. And you can enjoy the best ramen that you will ever shove into your face. It's Bo-Ru Ramen in Electric Depot on Government Street. So if it's Ichiban or Bo-Ru, get out and enjoy some dinner tonight. Bo-Ru Ramen.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
No matter what type of exercise you like to do, let Spectrum Fitness be a part of your exercise routine. Our low monthly rates and variety of choices will keep you moving toward your fitness goals. Come by and check us out today. Spectrum Fitness and Medical Wellness. Live life fit.
What if you could truly energize your body and mind from the most fundamental level? Your cells. Cellivate is a revolutionary health-aware approach to energy, focus, and mood enhancement, packing everything you need to optimize your mind and body from the inside out. The unique formula combines top-notch cellular energizers, nootropics, herbal extracts, and powerful antioxidants, all in one sugar-free 12-ounce can. Elevate your cells. Cellivate.
Well, I've had back pain now and then, but it got so bad I couldn't even bend over. I didn't want to resort to pain pills, so I chose Peak, hoping they could relieve the pain. They got me active again. I even lost weight. I believe in better. I chose Peak.
Choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
$12,500 off MSRP. Bayou Ford wants to put you in a brand new 2020 Ford Expedition today with $12,500 off MSRP. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty, and with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
50 years ago on Easter Sunday, Breck's Baton Rouge Zoo proudly opened our doors, and we've been hopping ever since. 5 decades of connecting people with animals, teaching our community about the problems facing wildlife and how we can help, and working with zoos across the world to protect endangered species. Today, our future is taking flight by stretching the possibilities of what your zoo can become, while we keep it fun and affordable for everyone. Thanks for coming along.
Have you been arrested for DUI or other traffic violations? Have you made a mistake? We all have. You're not a bad person. Call the law offices of O.C. Brown at 225-343-1111 or connect with us online at ocbrown.com.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, draft resumes in less than 30 minutes from right now. The Saints have 3 picks today. They have the 60th overall pick. That's their pick in round 2. And then they've got 2 picks in round 3, the 98th pick and then pick 105, compensatory picks. So I am trying to spin the positive, y'all. I mean, I get it. A lot of us were watching the draft last night, and we're not expecting Payton Turner's name to be called. I said for weeks, just give me a defensive player. That's the thing that I said. I didn't have a preference. I mean, if I were prioritizing, I would have gone corner, outside linebacker, defensive tackle, defensive end. They went defensive end. The position I would have said would have been last among your priorities, and they went with a player that not many of us had targeted. For what it's worth, I got Mike D's draft report here where he ranks the top 150 prospects. The guys that came off the board in round 1 that he did not have first-round grades, Rashad Bateman, he had 38th overall. Eric Stokes, he had 39th. Joe Tryon, he had 44th. Alex Leatherwood, he had 46th. Jamin Davis out of Kentucky, he had 49th. So there were some reaches, but he had Payton Turner 86th. And I get it. It's just one man's opinion and how he scouted this draft, but that's a sizable gap to take who you have rated as the 86th overall player at number 28. But what I will say is sometimes you can have successful drafts regardless of what happens in round 1. We've seen that plenty of times with the Saints in particular. I think if you look at the Saints draft history, you could even look to just 2 years ago when they took Eric McCoy, and the Saints didn't have a first-round pick because they traded for Marcus Davenport. Well, you come back in round 2 and you get Eric McCoy, and you come back in you didn't have a third-round pick, and in round 4, you get Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. We got 2 starters for you, 2 stud starters in day 2 and day 3 of the draft. Now, they picked Saquon Hampton and Alizé Mack and Caden Ellis after that in round 6 and 7. But the middle rounds is largely considered where is the meat of the draft because you can get great value. So I would have loved it last night if everyone just unanimously felt awesome about whoever the Saints picked. It didn't happen that way. I think Payton Turner's a guy that the more we learn about, we like the size, the athleticism, the fact that he's apparently going to be a great culture guy in the locker room. Makes some sense because obviously you lose Trey Hendrickson. You hope Marcus Davenport takes that step up. But either way, you've added another defensive end after losing one in free agency. So it checks a lot of boxes. I get it. Okay, but I'm also understanding everyone who's coming at this with a little bit of like, what are we thinking here? The other side of it is, I also know that tonight the Saints have an amazing opportunity. When I look at Adam Troutman as a third-round pick, who's going to be your starting tight end this year. I mentioned Eric McCoy and C.J. Gardner-Johnson. You got Marcus Williams in round 2. You got Alvin Kamara and Trey Hendrickson and Alex Anzalone all in round 3. You got Michael Thomas and Von Bell in round 2. You got David Onyemata in round 4. He's a starter for you. My point is there are good players that can be starting players for you, and the Saints have been very good at identifying those guys. So they got to maximize tonight. And the other thing that when I looked at it tonight, when I looked at it after last night, and I looked at it today, the players on the board still that I would be thrilled if the Saints got at positions of need, it's a long list. I mean, let me remind you, Azeez Ojulari still on the board. J.O.K., the linebacker from Notre Dame, still on the board. Trevon Moehrig, the safety out of TCU, still on the board. Terrace Marshall, Christian Barmore, Elijah Moore, Tevin Jenkins, Rondale Moore, the receiver out of Purdue. I mean, Nick Bolton, the linebacker out of Missouri. Kelvin Joseph, former LSU Tiger out of Kentucky. What if Kelvin Joseph is hanging around on the board? Like, it's not going to take NFL teams long to figure out why Kelvin Joseph left LSU for Kentucky, and then he opted out late in the year at Kentucky after one season there. So that's a guy who was a stud, 5-star caliber player, SEC starter, who had some off-the-field issues that may cause his draft stock to slip, but could be a starting player in the NFL. I mean, Alim McNeil, the defensive tackle out of NC State, is on the board. Jabril Cox, who we've talked about. You want to go cornerback, Asante Samuel is there. I mean, Dylan Moses is still on the board as well if you want a really talented linebacker who many had mocked as a first-round pick in his career until he had an injury issue. But if you clear him medically, you could get great value in a linebacker who could be a day one starter and could be a long-time player for you. Guys like Chaz Surratt and Ronnie Perkins are there. Marvin Wilson, the big defensive lineman out of Florida State. I mean, I mentioned him yesterday, but Shaun Wade's a guy who before this season started, Shaun Wade was considered a lock to be a first-round draft pick and very likely the number 1 cornerback taken in this year's draft. And he's a guy who he and his dad, Randy Wade, were among the forefront of pushing to getting this season played, to having the Big Ten jump back into the 2020 season. And playing this season probably hurt Shaun Wade because before this season, he was considered to be a first-round draft pick. I mean, you look at the cornerbacks that are still on the board. Tyson Campbell from Georgia is still on the board. Melifonwu, I don't know if I'm saying it right, the kid out of Syracuse. I mentioned Kelvin Joseph, Asante Samuel. I mean, you've got talented dudes who could become starting players. Kerry Vincent, Marco Wilson from Florida still on the board. So if I had my druthers, what I would love to see the Saints do today is use all 3 picks. I would love it if they used all 3 picks, and if they got a cornerback, a linebacker, and the defensive tackle. That would be ideal for me if they decided to use all 3. Now, knowing the Saints, I don't think it's likely that they do that. As we said, they've traded up 20 times in the last 14 drafts. It's their MO. It's what they do. And last year in day 2, remember, they took all of their day 3 assets and traded them to move up to get Zach Bond and Adam Troutman. The other thing we really don't know is how much are the Saints potentially banking on Zach Bond elevating his play this year? Are they thinking Zach Bond might actually be a guy that could be a competent outside linebacker? No, I don't think so. He feels kind of like a tweener. He feels kind of like Ha'oli Kikaha was. It's probably a curse word around here, but they also made a pretty massive investment to go in to get him. And if they see him as an edge rusher, well, you just drafted another edge rusher. So that makes that pick a little even more confounding. But if the Saints stand pat, realistically, what you could be looking at somewhere in the 60 range is a player like, potentially, a Kelvin Joseph. I think he very well could be gone, but if you could take a Kelvin Joseph or an Asante Samuel in round 2, at the end of round 2, I think that's a great spot to get your starting cornerback. And then I think you could come back in round 3 and you could address linebacker. I think Chaz Surratt could be there. I think Dylan Moses could be there at the end of round 2 or with your first pick of round 3. After that, then, I think you're looking at your best player. If you're still looking for a linebacker, a guy like Monty Rice from Georgia very well could still be on the board. Or you could go defensive tackle. And I know 2 guys that a lot of Saints fans have talked a bunch about are Cam Sample, who's defensive lineman from Tulane. And then if Tyler Shelvin is still on the board, I know the Saints over their history have been allergic to picking LSU players. But if Tyler Shelvin's on the board, I think that's a guy in round 3 that I think has boom or bust potential. We've talked about it. If he's motivated, if he's in the right frame of mind mentally, if he's a guy that you can keep his weight in order, he can be a dominant interior player. And you, in losing Malcolm Brown, you need a zero technique. You need that big run stuffer in the middle. I don't think Tyler Shelvin at 350 pounds is at his most efficient. I know he's not at his most efficient. But if you feel like you have a guy that you can keep motivated in a veteran locker room, Tyler Shelvin could be a guy that comes in, gets his weight under control, and becomes a really productive player for you. Now, if not, the thing we know that the Saints value so much is culture, and they wouldn't take a shot there. But if there's one guy, I know most Saints fans today or LSU fans are going to say Jabril Cox. And I get it. It makes sense. But I also think that Jabril Cox likely is off the board before the Saints pick at 60. And I think you're going to have too much value waiting at 60 to move up for a player like Jabril Cox, and there's going to be linebackers available. So the good news for the Saints is whatever you're electing to do at 60, if it's corner, if it's linebacker, if it's defensive tackle, it's wide receiver. Whatever you elect to do, there's going to be a great player at one of those positions waiting for you at 60. And I think if you're willing to be patient, that if you let this draft come to you, there's going to be great options. Look at what happened with New England last night. There was so much talk about New England moving up to get a quarterback. They were patient. They sat at 15, and Mac Jones fell in their lap. Now, we can have all the conversation we want about Mac Jones. And if he's a franchise quarterback, if he'll ever be. And that's a debate we've had, and if you've listened to the show, you know my feelings on it. I think he's a guy who could be very good in the NFL, but we've just never seen him challenged in college. He was a stat compiler and a great offense. But we've seen a lot of quarterbacks have success in New England. And he could be the next one. We'll see. But the point is, New England was able to just be patient, and one of the best quarterbacks in the draft fell right in their lap at 15 for him. I think the same could happen for the Saints tonight at all three spots in rounds 2 and 3 if they stand put. Now, if you made me take all my net worth to a ticket window in Vegas and ask me, do the Saints move up today? Damn right, I'm going to say they move up because they move up every year. But I think they got some options today. Let's see if the Saints can go stay defensive-minded, draft defense today, see if you can get a starting cornerback, maybe a linebacker and a defensive tackle, and then that lets you go into day 3 wide open to take the best player on your board. Maybe that's when you get a receiver who could become a really good contributor on your team. I mean, I'll remind you also, David Onyemata was a 4th-round pick. He's become a starting interior player for you. Those guys are there on day 3 as well. And the Saints have some options. So, it's after further review. Glad to have you hanging out with us here on this Friday edition of AFR, brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows, doors, siding, Relief Windows, and ReliefWindows.com. Man, if you're thinking about it, maybe a lot of people getting your tax refund, invest it into your home. Energy-efficient replacement windows, not only will they increase your home's resale value, but they'll also lower your energy bills. You'll save money each month, and you'll increase your home's resale value, and you'll beautify your home. It's Relief Windows. And remember, they never take $1 from you until you are thrilled with the work that they do. That's at Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, Relief Windows, and ReliefWindows.com. Okay, y'all. One thing left to do here. We will wrap up the hour, wrap up the week with a little bit of what we learned. If you want to get in for, normally it's Ask Ryan to finish, but if you want to do an Ask Us, we'll get that. Any questions you may have, feel free to fire away. Also, I have some picks from the Otter as far as betting props for tonight. And if you're looking for Kentucky Derby picks, I'll give you what the Otter gave me earlier today when we wrap up next. Glad you're bored with us. One segment to go on a Friday edition of AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Stay here.
AFR.
So today is the last day of April. Tomorrow starts May, of course, and May is National Stroke Awareness Month. Our friends at the Baton Rouge General Hospital are going to remind you of that all month long. So you can get to brgeneral.org for more information, brgeneral.org. And the stats are astounding. Someone in the United States has a stroke every 40 seconds, and unfortunately, too many of us know that firsthand. Nearly 80,000 people in the U.S. have a stroke every year. And a lot of different habits can contribute. If it's smoking or drinking or not getting enough exercise, a lot of those things can raise your stroke risk. So Baton Rouge General Hospital all this month is asking you to be aware of some of the behaviors that can contribute to causing a stroke, and also know what to do if you find yourself in that situation. Baton Rouge General is a designated primary stroke center. You can learn more online at brgeneral.org. brgeneral.org for the Baton Rouge General Hospital.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
A certified pre-owned vehicle means that it's been certified by factory-trained technicians. It meets a stringent criteria of over 155-point inspection. We want to make sure that vehicle is mechanically sound and that we have a warranty to back it up. There's no mileage limitation. You can be assured that you're driving a vehicle, you got a good value, you'll get that special financing, those special incentives on certain models, and some of the other amenities that you get with a certified pre-owned vehicle.
Each year, Guarantee Media hosts a radiothon benefiting Dreams Come True.
And this year, we need your help more than ever.
We've interviewed these amazing kids, and every one of their stories brings tears to our eyes.
To have a dream granted means more to these families than you'll ever know.
And it wouldn't be possible without your help.
Dreams Come True has been hit hard by the events of the past year.
So we're asking for your support and being a part of making dreams come true.
And as always, your dollars stay right here in Louisiana. Thank you.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Sports wouldn't be the same without the die-hard fans. That's why we're highlighting the fans that do the most.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, down the stretch we come. Final segment here on a Friday edition of AFR. How about the Ottfather last night? My goodness, we were sitting over there at Pluckers, and Ott had given out a bunch of props. And I think we're sitting there. And what was the first one that hit? Was it
J.C. Horn, the first defensive player off the board?
He gave us yesterday. He gave us J.C. Horn was the first defensive player off the board. That hit. He took Waddle being taken before Devontae Smith.
That hit.
He gave you Kyle Pitts under 5.5, which hit. Baltimore taking an offensive player with the first pick, which hit. Baltimore taking a wide receiver with the first pick, which hit. He hit on the Chargers taking an offensive lineman. The only one...
He hit on Fields over 7.5, too.
Fields over 7.5. and he missed the only. I'm making sure I got this right. The only one he missed was a flyer on Travis Etienne being the first running back taken, which he missed by one pick.
One pick, yeah.
So Najee Harris went 24, and then Etienne went 25 to Jacksonville. So the only prop he missed was that one. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He was 7-1 on his props, on his first round props.
When you're hot, you're hot,
bro. And the one he missed was the longest odds. Was Etienne before Najee at plus 225. I mean, he's taking a little flyer on that. I mean, he hit Baltimore taking a wide receiver at plus 200. Now, the one that he gave me today was Kyle Trask in the second round.
Just second round, right?
He gave me two Kyle Trask props. Okay. One was Kyle Trask in the second round at plus 250, and the other was Kyle Trask under 72.5. So under 72.5 would bump. Well, actually, that would be. I guess that would be the second round. Yeah, that would be the second round. What do you think?
I think Kyle Trask's going to go in the second round. I really do.
No, because that would be third round. Because 64 would be the end of round 2.
Okay, so I think Trask goes in the second round. Who are we to dot Jimmy out right now?
He's been in fuego.
Guy's on a heater. Big heater.
But he's been making that point all week about how Vegas just takes a bath on the prop bets for the draft because it's one of the most predictable things. Like, if you have good information, like, it's a very winnable prop. I mean, it's kind of interesting how Vegas has been slow to catch up to stuff like this and how the betting public has crushed him. I'm so conflicted on Kyle Trask, man. There was a mock draft. I think maybe CBS Sports did a mock draft, and they had the Saints taking Trask in round 3, and someone tagged me, and it was like, man, don't read this. It'll ruin your day. And I'm like, actually, it doesn't. Like, if the Saints take a flyer on a quarterback in round 3, I'm okay with it. What I'm not okay with is taking Kyle Trask in round 1. Like, if you want to take a shot on a guy in round 3 that can sit and watch for a year and maybe becomes a guy that either becomes a starting player for you or a serviceable backup, okay, I'm good with that. I don't know if Kyle Trask is that guy for me, though. I mean, I looked at Kyle. I mean, y'all know how I feel about it right now. I just think Kyle Trask is never going to be a franchise quarterback in the NFL. I think he's never going to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. And if you're taking a quarterback in round 2, it feels like you're taking a guy that you think has that potential, right? A guy that you think can be a starting quarterback for you if you're going to take him in round 2. You're not drafting a quarterback in the second round to be a backup.
And you don't take flyers on guys in the second round. Kyle Trask feels like the guy, though, that you take and he sits behind somebody for a few years and learns before he gets his shot.
I mean, here's an example, right? So Jake Fromm was taken in round 5.
Yeah.
Jake Fromm had a very productive college career.
He did.
Kyle Trask had a very productive college career. Now, Kyle Trask was also playing in a much more wide open offense. Like, that's been a knock on Kirby's Georgia's offenses, that are they were more like what Les's offense were like at LSU. And Dan Mullen's offenses at Florida wide open. He had Kyle Pitts. He had Kadarius Toney. I mean, he had Trevon Grimes. I mean, he was throwing in a wide open offense to better skill guys and put up a lot better numbers. I guess I wonder, like, if the roles were reversed. If you put Kyle Trask in Athens, is Georgia a contender?
Does he have the same type of success that Jake Fromm had in that offense?
Feels like
what
it.
You're getting at, yeah.
I mean, look, Fromm had Georgia on the doorstep of a national championship as a freshman.
Then Tua happened. What about Trask to Atlanta? Sit behind Matt Ryan for a few years?
Look, the thing with Atlanta, and I made fun of him last night when they took Pitts, and I get people love Kyle Pitts, and he's this transcendent talent at tight end and all that stuff. Atlanta sucks because of their defense. Their defense has been atrocious. I don't understand why you keep drafting offensive weapons for an aging quarterback when that's not your problem. You won 4 games last year because your defense is hot garbage. You've got to go get defense. Get defense. Go draft defense. Don't keep drafting the flashy receiver and the tight end. Go get defense. Don't draft a backup quarterback that's going to be a project. Go get defense. Don't get me wrong. I would love it if they please Atlanta, take Kyle Trask in round 2. Please continue being irrelevant. Like, how do the Panthers not go get a weapon for the guy that never had any weapons his whole time in New York?
That was the whole knock on Darnold.
There's the whole thing on him.
Yeah.
Come on, Saints. Give me some defense. Tigers, give me a win. Muso, what'd you learn today?
I learned that Ja'Marr Chase is going to wear number 1.
Paulie.
Theriot wants us to stay away from guys like John Holland.
AFR.
I pushed it right up against it, Paulie. My bad. Getting out of here, remind you about South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com. Southpointvw.com. Remember, if you're test driving this weekend, if you're thinking about buying a new vehicle, go test drive. One of the great things about South Point Volkswagen right now is they got the full inventory, man. The lot is full at South Point Volkswagen. That's not the case everywhere. If you drive around and look at a lot of different lots and different auto dealers, it's not necessarily their fault, but a lot of manufacturing is backlogged because of COVID. Thankfully, at South Point Volkswagen, that's not the case. They've got a full lot of brand new Volkswagen. So go test drive an Atlas, a Tiguan, which is the compact SUV. Of course, the Atlas is changing the game as the 3-row 7-seater family SUV. You can shop them online at southpointvw.com, southpointvw.com, and then go test drive Airline just north of Highland. South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction?
Yo, Jacob Hester here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Center, the place that can be at your convenience during those inconvenient times. I know they've been that for me. I've got 4 boys, right? So sometimes stitches happen, and they have 6 convenient locations, 1 close to you to be able to be convenient for you. Remember, you can also check in online. PatientPlusUC.com is the website. That way you skip the line as well. Patient Plus Urgent Care Center. Get in and get better.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Call Mr. Electric today for electrical repairs, upgrades, and installations.
At Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA, $2,000 can get you into a new RAV4 for $329 per month. That's $329 per month. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
$12,500 off MSRP. Bayou Ford wants to put you in a brand new 2020 Ford Expedition today with $12,500 off MSRP. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty, and with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
A certified pre-owned vehicle means that it's been certified by factory-trained technicians.